Welcome to the Pod Bay Door.
Hello out there in the verse. This is the Pod Bay Door. Please join us every Tuesday for informed discussions on new and upcoming movies, games, and tech. And if you love Las Vegas, stay tuned because as Vegas insiders, we can give you a unique perspective on its history, provide insider information, and reveal the unknown secrets of our town, Vegas. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. We're glad you're with us. And hey, if you get the chance, subscribe to us and give us a review on your favorite podcast platform. Also check in with us on our YouTube channel at the Pod Bay Door Podcast.
What is a podcast?
It seems to run on some form of electricity.
Go ahead. Make my day.
Wait, let me explain something to you. I am the father.
I don't give a damn who you are.
What? No.
Hey everybody, welcome to the show. This is the podbaydoor.com. Coming up on this episode, we're going to discuss the Las Vegas hotel check-in do's and don'ts from the pros. Mannequin attacks, fascism, and casino chips. We're going to have the Topless Report, Nerd Alert, Gear Grinders, and Area 52. I am off camera today for our YouTube channel watchers, but we have some pretty good-looking guys here. We got Adam. How you doing, man?
What's going on?
Big John Thorpe. He made it. He made it through the gauntlet of hard rock concerts.
I did.
And he's here. He's got his Behemoth t-shirt on. Recently took a trip with John, Mr. Thorpe, here to Universal Studios that I mentioned. He had on this shirt. And out of the blue, a guy at a gift shop stopped John to discuss how wonderful Behemoth was.
There you go.
That's right. And I was
super
able to show him my photo taken with Nurgle.
Behemoth. Yes. Spell that for me.
Nergal.
Nurgle. All right. And on the end, on the big corner, Big Sam.
How you folks doing today?
Yeah. We're going to make a push here we've already talked about the states that do not represent the podbaydoor.com, and Montana, Wyoming, Idaho being a couple of those.
Get on it.
Maine was another one. They're kind of far away.
That's all right. They got nothing to do up there.
That's
so
right. But it's all
podcast, right?
Sounds like it's our main issue then.
Yeah, it's digital, so they should be able to get in there. But we have some brand new sponsors. We have Afghanistan, which I'm assuming now, as John said earlier, that it's probably one of our
sponsors or listeners,
military guys. No, listeners. Sorry. And we've
like
got,
we don't want to be like confused with.
That's true.
The Taliban or anything.
Then we've got France jumped in there, and a couple of the and the Republic of Congo. Found that interesting.
Nice.
But we're making a huge push for 10,000 downloads. We're going to really, really push this. So for those of you listening out there, tell your friends, tell your brothers, tell your sisters, tell your mom and dad, tell anybody that you know. Podbaydoor.com. I'm sure they're going to love it. Tell all the nerds in your verse. And anybody that loves Las Vegas, tell them so we can hit that 10,000 mark. Also, we're making a big push for our blog. We're going to we've redesigned it, and anytime that you want to discuss off the podcast things, the blog is now going to be fully interactive. All the links for what we discuss are going to be there. We have an ongoing chat room that I've set up, and we seem to be getting a lot of interest in the blog, and it's a really good partnership with the podcast directly. So check in with the blog. Technically, it's the podbaydoor.wordpress.com. I know that's kind of long, but you can connect through podbaydoor.com or any of our social sites. But check it. Most importantly, the links from where I get all the information are right there, and we can get those cross links going. I'd love to see that.
And of course, more comments because we love those.
Yes,
Definitely.
We have one today that I had to laugh at. I'm not going to skip to it, but you'll know which one it is. Julie JSK commented off of Mixcloud. Love all the Vegas 411 and nerd stuff. Well, that's great. We try our best.
That's what we do.
That's right. What is your favorite hotel now, John? What's your favorite
Oh,
hotel?
wow.
It's been the same one for me the entire time. So what's your favorite?
On the strip or off the strip?
It doesn't matter.
Either one, I
didn't
guess.
say. Yeah, wherever.
Well, a lot of the ones that I liked are all gone now. I liked the Stardust just because it was old Vegas.
Right.
Same reason I liked the Riviera. It was old Vegas. It wasn't the nicest hotels, but
it had that feeling still.
It was like your clothes. You have an old T-shirt, it's got holes in it. It stinks, but it's yours, and somehow you feel like it's part of you.
It's very
comfortable.
It's very sentimental.
Yes, it's sentimental like
Yeah.
that. I don't know if any of them. I mean, there's certain ones that I like because they don't charge for parking.
There you go.
So hey, like
That's
the
a recent thing,
Tropicana.
so-
That's right.
Yeah, like you're my new favorite, Trop.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I think if I were to recommend somebody say I want to go to Las Vegas,
Right.
but I don't. I kind of like the Cosmo.
Yeah, true. I wish it wasn't.
It's very pretty.
Dead in the center of
Yes.
and it's got pretty horrifying parking entrance.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
But no, the
It's
Cosmo's
very much
not
the
that
new
nice.
Vegas too.
Yeah, some more of
Yeah.
a new Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we have some great friends over there, Mary and Kelsey and Sam and all the girls over there. Sam, how about you?
I'm gonna go with local and go with Red Rock. It has a little bit of everything you need. Plus, it's next to the new downtown Summerlin.
Yeah.
So you can go there. There's Dave and Buster, and like the Red Rock, it has, like I said, everything you need. Like the movie theater has a nice location, definitely easy parking, and it's a nice spot for locals. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's a nice, good go spot.
Yeah, because we don't go to the strip at all. 'cause-
Yeah, it's like to me the strip is the plague. Not like I don't like the strip. I enjoy it. Just that the hassle,
Sure.
the driving, getting
Sure.
there, parking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're driving behind the bad taxi guy, or the taxi guy's just cutting through the whole freaking lane. No one
Right.
signals.
Right.
Oh, and my favorite is no one drives and texts. That's the best. So
Well, it's everybody.
No one does that. Yeah.
No one does that here in Vegas.
Here.
God.
Total
Amazing.
sarcasm for
So-
you guys, not on YouTube.
So I personally avoid the strip. The only time I'll make a trip to the strip is for a special occasion, someone's birthday, someone's in town, or a special concert going on. Then I'll be there on the strip.
Oh yeah.
But good old off the strip for me, local
Yeah.
style.
Oh, family strip tour.
Yeah.
It's just devastating.
So you see
Yeah.
this slot machine here,
Yeah.
it's the same one in this casino. Enjoy.
Now, what was yours?
I gotta kind of go with Sam here and kind of go off the strip. You know,
Yeah.
I don't really go out too much to
Right.
the strip unless it's for work.
Yeah.
And just ease to get to. I like Green Valley Ranch.
Ooh, that's a nice one too. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got a nice movie theater there.
That's a
It's
better
got the
direction.
district.
I like that direction. I mean,
Yeah, away from the strip.
yeah.
Like, he's still kind of in that general area.
Yeah.
That's
Green
where I
Valley's-
live.
Yeah, it's on the
Oh,
other
that's
side.
true. That's true.
But I like the GVR too because that
Yeah.
little area with like the shopping and all that too.
Yeah, the district right
Yeah,
next
the little
door.
district.
It's
That's
got,
pretty
it's
cool.
got some
Yeah.
shopping and some food and stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if you come to Vegas,
poker room.
GVR is a great place to visit. Red Rock.
Red Rock's got a decent poker room too.
Yeah, and bowling. They still have bowling.
Yes.
bowling?
Yes.
Bowling,
They've got
movies. Yeah, that's more of a like an overall family environment. You can stick the kids someplace and then go do adult stuff.
for sure.
If you want to go to a buffet, I still think the best one
Yeah,
is the one at the M.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. If they're not shooting somebody, yeah.
Yeah, and if they're not shooting. Oh, you know what the story was with
Too
that?
soon.
Is that
It's been like 2 years.
that guy? See, he had
That was Sam's
won.
cousin.
He had won a lifetime buffet pass.
Yes.
At the M.
Yeah.
And apparently, then he was hassling, one
He
of
thought
the
he was
women
like
who
hot
worked
shit
there.
or
Yeah,
what?
he thought he was
Right.
hot shit, and he goes in there and he starts harassing one of the women who worked there. So
Right.
they basically took it
Asked
away
him to
from him.
leave.
So he was so distraught at losing his. I mean, imagine this: your life comes down to
A buffet.
I have nothing worth living for because
My
I
free
know
buffet for a year
my
is gone.
free buffet is gone. So
Oh, yeah.
he blew his brains out in line on Easter
Yeah.
Sunday.
Yeah, we've spoken about this before, and the the 1,000-year-old Filipino lady stepped right over him to get to the crab claws. So yeah. But I agree, it's a great buffet. A little pricey,
Yeah.
but it's a great buffet.
Yeah.
Now, my favorite has always been and will always be Caesar's Palace.
Yeah.
It's a classic, and I love the lore of it. We've talked about the robbery attempts and things of that nature. And it's been in so many movies, and when you walk in there, it's Caesar's. It's a little strange now because of all the add-ons, and they have a new Coliseum, venue. It's just such a wonderful place, and there's nothing like that opening valet with the fountains.
Yes.
And your heart.
It's a classic. It's definitely a classic.
Yeah.
Because it still holds up to this day when you go inside. You're still amazed by just the view itself inside the casino. It's
Exactly.
pretty nice. I'm so surprised they haven't renamed the Coliseum to the Celine Dion Coliseum.
Right.
As well.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah,
but,
it seems that they're
like AT&T
all of their
Stadium.
shows, yeah,
Right.
all of their shows. You know, the people who perform there, whether it's Celine or Elton John, Rod Stewart.
right.
I think they probably played in the original Coliseum. They're old enough to have played. it.
Yeah,
So can you get
right.
anybody
Yes.
dig up somebody else?
That's
Does,
right.
that, does that include the current one? Was it Brooks and Dunn with?
Oh, Brooks.
Oh, my
yeah.
dad loves some Brooks and Dunn.
Yeah.
it's them and Reba McEntire.
Yeah.
It's like a trio at the
Oh, man.
Caesars.
Sign me up.
Oh yeah. The red piano, Elton John, the red piano.
Right.
Oh,
But,
my God.
Oh,
Yeah, we're going to get...
Yeah. We'll
We'll
get to
get
that
there.
later.
Yeah.
Elton John later.
But now, Love Caesars. You know, you harken back to when Evel Knievel jumped the fountain.
Yes.
And, yeah, it's amazing.
Boxing. Remember, they had boxing outdoors
Oh yeah.
too.
Yeah, loved it. Yeah,
Yeah.
just to the left of the valet. It was right there.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Julie JSK. We appreciate that. That brings up a lot of stuff that we love to talk about. And here we go.
Here we go.
Are you ready?
Big Sam, who
we're always looking to get called out.
That's right. Big Sam, who ostensibly is the nicest person on the panel. John and I are probably vying for the bottom.
Yeah.
I'll take the middle.
This is the first time you take the dead in the middle. This is the first time we've ever gotten a comment about Sam. Fred's nose. Now we have a friend named Fred. I don't know if he's listening to these, but we have a good friend named Fred. But it's not him. Fred's nose commented off of WordPress. I do enjoy the show. Love all of the trivia tidbits. Great. I love that. Sam needs to be more positive on his movie watching and reviews. Now, I find that funny.
Yeah, I'm not saying that we're any better or worse.
I'm kind of surprised there.
I know. And
it's Rogue One. It's all Rogue One's fault.
And it's Rogue One.
Can,
Yeah.
can I play the skin color card, or is that too late?
You people, what?
My people? What do you mean my people? I'm kidding.
Summerlin people. Summerlin.
I'm really surprised by this. Wow.
I know. I don't know why. So I was curious, and I went back, and I have to say that Fred, and his nose, he's a little right. I could have done a small montage or an audio collage, a montage, not a lot of positivity. You kind of hate everything, or you hate parts of it.
Well,
everything has the flip side of everything.
Is it my fault or is it the writer's fault?
Why, I don't know, but you seem to have represented the dark side of the coin in the studio here.
That's fine with me.
We're just calling out the laziness,
Yeah.
in Hollywood right now.
Okay.
Just that sometimes, when you do watch
Okay.
movies and TV shows and they write themselves into a corner
Yeah.
and they take a lazy exit, you do want to call people out on that because, there's all these groups of writers that claim that they're good, but okay, they went on a writer's strike, they came back, and we still have shit products sometimes. So what was the point of that writer's strike? You got more money, but you didn't give me better quality.
Same point as the football strike.
Oh,
Yeah,
is that a whole other segment itself? I mean, I don't mind being called out for being negative about movies or TV shows.
Bring in the replacements.
Yeah, right.
But for me, like in this show, it's just my opinion. Like it's not law, it's not anything. It's just my point of view is that certain movies aren't good, like Rogue One,
Power Rangers,
or even X-Men Apocalypse.
Yeah,
like
to
this day, if there's any movie involving Jennifer Lawrence, I will not watch it. Like my friend the other night asked me, "Hey, have you seen Passengers?" I'm like, "Nope." They're like, "Oh, why not?" I'm like, "I'm not a fan of Jennifer
Lawrence. Pass.
Really? See, I find Jennifer Lawrence to be an amazing actor because of her age. She's so young, and to have the control of her emotions. Has she been in films that you've enjoyed? Well, her current film Mother is obviously creating quite the stir. And Aronofsky, of course, I think she's still with, directed and created that film. But I saw Passengers.
Yeah.
Chris Pratt sort of lightens up everything.
Okay.
As he does with most films.
Yeah.
I recently also just saw Magnificent Seven. Great film. I don't know if anybody saw all the way back to Akira Kurosawa's.
I saw that one.
Yeah.
Seven Samurai.
Yeah, exactly. And so that was good. But Jennifer Lawrence, I also find her quite attractive. But I think I find her attractive because of her acting prowess. She's. But I agree. I
don't mind her acting. She has good acting skills. Just that, like, to me, she killed the X-Men franchise when they promoted her to the team leader. I'm like,
that's how Halle Berry killed the other X-Men series,
right?
Yeah.
That's my humble nerdy opinion. I'm sorry if I offended. Was Fred Nose?
Fred's nose. Yes.
Fred's nose.
Yes.
Well, we'll get to a more friendly movie review later.
Yes.
I think.
Hopefully.
Maybe.
I guess.
We'll see.
Yeah.
But Sam is also the person who takes one for the team, so to speak. You see a majority of the films, whereas I see none, and then I have to wait until our new segment, which is coming up, to make a comment. Adam, you're pretty close. John, do you get to see films?
Well, yeah,
do you go?
I'm kind of in between. I will go.
Yeah.
But often I do look at what other movie critics say, and it seems that Sam does take one for the team. He sees a lot of shitty movies.
So, all right, let me ask you this: does Rotten Tomatoes influence your movie seeing?
Ooh. No. I will look at a professional quote unquote movie reviews. I'll look at a couple of them,
Okay.
but then I'll also see if the person says, I see how did they evaluate this film. And sometimes I remember one time long ago, Roger Ebert, Gene Siskel arguing over Benji the Hunted.
Yes.
Because I agreed with Roger Ebert on this, because Gene Siskel said, "Oh, that was awful, Benji the Hunted," and Roger Ebert said, "Hey, lighten up. It's a family film. Yeah, it's hokey as an adult, but maybe they made it for kids, and the kids are going to like it."
Yep.
So that's who is your audience,
Right?
Exactly.
So if the audience is going to like that, we talked earlier about, you look at Fast and the Furious, what a great job they've done for that particular audience. They're not very good movies as they go, but they've got all the things.
They make a ton of money, and they got a following, and
they've got hot chicks, they've got buff guys.
Oh, they have
got
explosions.
shit that explodes.
There you
plenty
go.
of explosions.
And
and
fast
that's
cars.
that's the formula.
I'll tell you for sure. Like, I'll be the first one to admit
Then
that I'm a sucker for a Fast and Furious franchise, just because it hits everything I need. Because I was born and raised
But does it?
in the 80s action. It has the explosions, the hot chicks, the fast cars, right? And the one-liners, the corny ass one-liners. I'm totally there because I was raised on this movie as a kid. I was raised on Stallone, Van Damme, or Arnold Schwarzenegger
I got
movies.
you.
So I'm always down for action movies. Like I remember when they first announced Expendables, I'm like, all right, you got me sold.
Well, the cast alone was like, wow, you're gonna bring all these people together for one movie?
Exactly.
How's that possible? And then they made 3 of them.
Yeah.
It's like
I think
Jamie's favorite franchise.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic. I love the business model. I love the business model of Fast and Furious. I mean, it's made
It's a smart move.
Eight figures worldwide.
Sure.
I love the Expendables. I'm glad they pulled their shit together recently and stopped arguing with each other. And they're going to put 4 out pretty soon. But no, I agree with you. I just I'm a very easy moviegoer. And I try to
Only because you see select movies.
Well, that's true, but the ones I see, I do see all the popular films. I just see them quite late, which is a perfect segue for our new segment, which is actually just for Jamey here. It's called "And This Is Why." It's a movie review. Now, this time, because I don't know if any of the panel has seen this movie. I think I've already asked.
Yeah, funny enough, you're the only one that's seen this so far.
Yes, well, that's good because now you can argue.
Congrats, good sir.
Which is funny because Sam and I both love this director.
Yeah,
and
Guy Ritchie.
Guy Ritchie, King Arthur, Charlie Hunnam, Jude Law, and a bunch of other character actors you'd see in most of the British films. Guy Ritchie, of course, Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Guns, Snatch, the Sherlock Holmes franchise with Robert Downey Jr., which they finally got into production for the third one.
Rock and Rolla.
Gerard Butler. And I love his timing. I love his much like Baby Driver. If you look at Ritchie's work, there is a tempo. It's literally like watching a tap dancer.
Sure.
It's very interesting. But if you suddenly see the pattern, that's when you're going to like Ritchie. Now, King Arthur's a tough one because it's a period piece. And it's been done. It's been done all the way back towards Connery's time, and they've had terrible films regarding that. Clive Owen and Mr. Bruckheimer. I think I don't know if it was
Arthur.
Yeah,
Arthur.
Yeah,
it was called Arthur.
Arthur.
And
Keira Knightley.
Yeah.
Keira Knightley, yes.
I really enjoyed that version.
Yeah.
That version
I
wasn't
enjoyed
bad
it.
at all.
It was a more realistic approach to the legend.
Yeah.
That was more like Expendables in King Arthur's time. I mean, it was an interesting
A little bit.
group film, but well done and fun. So they had to figure out a way to do this, and Guy Ritchie decided to go with a combination of who and what he is as a director. Whereas Michael Bay, Adam's favorite, you can always see his camera angles.
These two guys love Michael Bay. Look at their face.
You can see his camera angles, and and because he is such a powerful producer and director now, he has the wherewithal. He can put whatever he wants in there. If he wants to do the Will Smith, Martin Lawrence, sweeping slow-mo thing, and he does it, and that's great. That's perfect. Well, Guy Ritchie does the same thing. He has fast, witty banter, often hard to understand because they're still British, but he infused that into King Arthur. The coloration of the film was fantastic, very dark. You guys would love it. Who loves The Dark Knight and Christopher Nolan, you're going to love this film's the coloration of it. Yeah. And as far as the tempo, if you like Guy Ritchie, which obviously you said you did, you're going to love that as well. However, it's a little incongruous when it comes to sticking that type of dialogue into King Arthur, because you think King Arthur should be this sweeping Old English, the Shakespeare standing in front of you reading the entire script, and to have Guy Ritchie's tempo is can be off-putting, but if you like Ritchie, it's going to be fantastic. Gotcha. Now, giant elephants, giant pachyderms, and it had some elements of Sam's favorite film, The Great Wall.
Oh gosh. Or you mean 300?
Yes.
Giant elephants.
Or that, but I mean, yeah.
Fantastic Beasts.
Fantastic Beasts. And you know what? Our job as movie watchers and ultimately as movie reviewers is it's the suspension of disbelief. And that's pretty much all films, unless you're watching an absolute, true to life film, period piece or not. You have to suspend the disbelief. Yeah. Once you get past that part, the fantastical elephants and the powers that they have, it becomes a King Arthur film. Charlie Hunnam did pretty good. I still, because I watched Sons of Anarchy from
can't get that out of it.
He's always going to be Jax, but no motorcycles in King Arthur. But everybody did a great job. I think the dialogue was fresh and snappy. As a fantasy film, it's a fantasy film. It's really not a period piece. It's just a fantasy film. Considering we talked about the young lady that found the sword in the water. It was great timing for me to watch this. And Excalibur, Ritchie designed a method of Charlie Hunnam's character, King Arthur, finding this, and I'm not going to spoil it for people because it's really, really cool. You really need to see it. Jude Law, I recently saw him in The Pope. It was
the Young Pope.
The Young Pope, sorry.
It was disturbing.
It was disturbing. I'm Catholic. It was disturbing on that level. It was the dialogue was it was tough. It was an Italian director. I don't think it was received well. It was far too difficult to watch if you're not Catholic, not Italian.
It was a little jarring in its.
And his character, that Pope, was a horrendous person. No possible way he gets to be Pope. Not in the way we elect popes, the Catholic Church elect popes. But back to the movie. See King Arthur. You guys see King Arthur.
Yeah.
Get back.
You said it's on Netflix, correct?
It's you can get it on Netflix disc. It is not streaming yet.
Disc only.
You can stream it. Google Play. You can stream it pretty much. Amazon. You can stream it. But I found it to be very enjoyable. It was not overdone in the parts that shouldn't be. It was not too long. They gave you your money's worth and just enough.
So out of 10?
I give it an 8.5.
Nice.
8.5.
Did you ever get around to watching it yet?
I have not. It's still in the theaters.
You should.
Right.
Well, you should go on a day where no one's there, because that's one of those films you should probably watch in theaters, because
of course
the sound is so good.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was
that's why Jamey's setting up his home system.
And I was very fortunate too. I want to tell you, when I watched it, I was very lucky. 3 rows behind me, some lady brought her infant.
Nice.
Oh, that's nice.
I had a great time.
Yeah.
Did the child like it?
Yeah, the kid's gonna be scarred for life.
All that crying. We kind of all looked back at her at the same time, and she kind of just ninja her way out.
At least she moved.
She ninja her way fully out the door.
There you go.
I heard the door close.
There you go.
I was very happy.
See, props for that. At least if you're gonna bring them, take them all the way out of the theater.
Because at that point, the only people's time she's wasted is hers and the child's. Why she came at all, I don't get.
I think when you do get around to seeing the movie at home, we should do that. We should just find somebody's kid. Bring him here and set him on
That's
Jamie's
right.
cell phone. Back.
That's right. Or
just a sound.
or just get the sound effect on a
That's it.
phone and just add that. That's right. But
Like from Dumb and
Just
Dumber.
put it on a loop for him.
Have you heard the most annoying sound in the world?
but
Give you the feel of being there in the theater.
that's right.
Have it feel authentic.
Yes, being authentic.
But King Arthur 8.5 for me,
Nice.
and that's why.
I'll have to look it up.
So take a look at it. The Topless Report this time it's a strange one. Now I've been to the Mob Museum. Have you guys been to the Mob Museum?
I haven't been there yet.
I've
You
been.
good?
I was on a very quick and short tour of it way back when it first opened. But apparently there is an article regarding, and this is a dual article. The article that I caught a hold of is the prosecution and the what's happening in the case now. But just a little bit further back, a man entered into the Mob Museum and attacked a mannequin who was disrobed under a blanket, and it viciously attacked this
He
mannequin.
was looking at him wrong.
Yes,
He just watched Doctor Who.
He was trying to get his sandwich from him. That's all.
That's right. However, the story goes further, this is why I put it into the Topless Report. It's not really topless, but it's naked in some way. So he destroys this mannequin. And of course, he's arrested. He's on all different types of charges. However, it came to be. It was a sting by the Metro Police Department, and there has been a man. Yes.
Oh, that
Sam
one.
Gibb.
Okay,
Yeah.
that one.
There
Yeah,
has
I
been a
watched that
man
one.
attacking homeless individuals.
Yeah,
In the same manner as he attacked the mannequin
with a bat.
with a bat. And I think in the Mob Museum, it was it was not a bat. It was a different weapon. It was like a brick or something.
Yeah.
But this was a sting put on by the police officers, and they got him, and they think it's him. I mean, they're determining that, I think, completely now. But yeah, he was killing homeless people.
Yeah, they showed the
Interesting.
photos of him on Channel 3 News. I was like, what the heck?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
he
I
was like
remember that.
all hoodied out and stuff,
Yeah,
too. I was
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
dang.
Very creepy. Very creepy. We Las Vegas is not does not avoid any of the weird problems any other city has.
Oh, no, we get them all.
Yeah, we just have very interesting locations at which they commit these horrific crimes.
Interesting ways to stop them.
That's right.
Involving mannequins.
That's right. I've never heard of a murdered mannequin really yet. This is my first one.
Did the mannequin press charges?
It didn't. It didn't. Yes.
I was going to ask you, did you see the news report? I think it was like last week. A guy went up on the roof of his apartment complex butt naked. And they're trying to talk him off, like not to jump.
Sure.
But he took the faithful dive and
Sure.
didn't quite survive that one.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it was over on I want to say Maryland Parkway in either Flamingo or Trop. But apparently, like the whole SWAT team had come out, block off the neighborhood. He's up there, just acting crazy, and he just took the jump. Crazy people.
I mean, sorry for him if he was, suffering that much, but I don't know. Jump. You're taking up other people's times. They're trying to, have a successful life. I don't know. Do you think that they could have talked him down based on what you read?
Based from what I read and what I saw, I think he already has mind made up, like ready
Sure.
to go.
Yeah.
He's
I don't know if he was on the roof. He was
Yeah.
ready to step across the line.
We have a lot of that in Las Vegas. It's covered up.
Yeah,
You know,
a lot of
the
all the
marketing
casinos have
Oh, yeah.
locked windows
The-
and balconies.
Oh
and
yeah, the marketing machine that is Las Vegas. You don't hear a lot about stuff,
Right.
And we
on
don't.
the dark side.
Yeah, we don't.
Well, not me personally. I'm not the dark side. Only to
Only
Just on
to
movies. Yeah.
what was his name?
Movies and
Jeff
TV
Snows
show.
or
That's right. We and there's no need to focus on that.
Yeah.
Las Vegas is a great fun place, and for some individuals who have problems, but yeah, lots of jumping. I mean, yeah, downtown more downtown than not, but majors have it too. I don't know how people get out windows and stuff. Actually, you don't need to. I mean, there's like Luxor. I mean, people have taken a dive right in the middle of the casino.
right.
Yeah, because
Right.
they're
I think
inverted.
I heard a couple
yeah,
times.
because of the
Yeah.
inverted way they built the building. But
They should just start setting up nets, like between
Right.
every level.
I'm sure it's been talked about.
That'd be
Have like
funny.
just have those nets from like the Cirque show
Yeah.
or whatever show,
Right?
Just
Borrow-
ready,
just
ready to
borrow
catch you.
'em, you know?
Yeah.
Where it's ready to catch you.
That's right. And then then the book makers can make odds on how far they
Oh
make it.
no, I'm sure that would happen.
Yeah.
But as soon as they roll off the net safe, then you just charge them extra to the hotel room.
Gotta have
like,
a big.
right? They're like, we're gonna charge you an extra $100 in a hotel room.
They'll find a way to make
It's a netting
turn that
charge.
into a ride, like one of the zip lines.
Oh,
right?
sure.
Just dump you out of
man.
the
Sure.
just dump you out of the basket.
Speaking of zip lines, give me your opinion.
Oh.
I saw something, and I think I'm stealing it from some other podcast. But zip line at the link. You think they're going to do it?
I hadn't heard about it, but
I didn't know that.
You know, I would
Yeah.
do it.
There's
I think
rumblings
zip lines are pretty
about
fun.
I just,
At the link?
At the
From where
link.
to where though?
I don't know.
That's weird because like the zip line downtown and the Voodoo zip line at the
Yeah.
Rio, those make sense because there's a lot
Yeah.
of space. But
Yeah.
at the link, I wouldn't.
I don't know.
figure out where.
Hard Rock.
Probably
to
won't-
the
yeah, probably
El
won't be very
El
far.
Diablo restaurant. there.
Right to the bar.
Yeah.
Right? Just have them land right at the yard house.
Yeah.
There you go. I'm ready to drink and eat
Bam.
now.
Oh,
Right
absolutely.
at the front door.
Oh, they'll do if they can get it cleared, they'll do it.
As long as people don't pee, that's fine.
Oh, it's just that one kid.
Well, weren't they supposed to have one
This
that
kid.
they were going to do one that went from the Luxor
Yeah.
across the strip over to the MGM?
Oh, God, I didn't
I
hear
read
that.
about
way.
that.
As a
yeah,
way to get
they
across.
talked about they got approval to do it from the Luxor somewhere else. But yeah, but I guess they never. I have not heard any more than that. But I remember hearing that. I said, "Oh,
That
'cause
sounds crazy.
that sounds crazy going across the strip." But
Yeah.
hey, you know, it's a pretty good way to get there.
I just
Probably
picture someone almost getting
Yeah.
hit by a double-decker bus. trying to
Or one
zip
of
line
the like the
across.
giant porn signs.
Oh,
you know, on
yes,
the back of the
yes.
trucks.
The panel trucks.
Yeah, the panel
See,
trucks.
all I can see is an old, an old man with his walker. They strap his walker to him and they just send that sucker across. I don't know.
You got a George of the Jungle moment.
Yeah.
You know, my father did a zip line in Alaska, and at that time,
Yes, did I?
he was the oldest one who ever did it in that park in Alaska. And I think he
Yeah.
was 85
Oh gosh.
when he did that. Yeah, yeah,
Wow, that's pretty cool.
yeah.
I'm sure here in Vegas though, when you do zip line, they'll give you free buffet pass after you're done. After you
Yeah.
survive the ride.
Oh, I guess.
Well,
Yeah. Well,
only if you're lucky.
that's right. That's right. But well, I think that's enough of the Topless Report. Adam's got the nerd alert for us.
Oh snap! I was gonna read this, bro.
Yeah. So we already covered one movie. We figured we'd just segue right into the other one that we just saw.
Yes.
We went and saw Kingsman: The Golden Circle.
You have to enjoy the disbelief.
I
It's
love the
everything you
first
want.
one.
There's a little
Has
bit of
everything you
disbelief, sure.
Has the explosion, has the violence, and has the she's
Some
not
ultra
naked.
action scenes.
She's in
a
her
lot of-
lingerie.
Who is?
Who is?
Yeah, the
Hallie?
no,
Oh,
one,
the
one of
blonde girl?
the blonde girl.
I don't know her name.
Neither do I. But she looked really nice. She
Obviously,
looked
there
really
was
nice.
some eye candy.
Yeah.
yeah.
Some action.
Yeah.
A lot of over the top stuff.
The
but,
one-liners. It's very ridiculous, but it's good.
Well, no, the other one had one liner too. Although I watched the first one, loved it. I think it was such a departure, whatever.
Yeah,
I was
exactly.
not expecting.
Oh
this.
no.
And and yet it literally surprised me all the way through, all the way to the end, where the girl said was locked in the cell.
Yes.
And she sent him off with a task and with a reward that I'm not going to say that he
I
could
do remember.
he could come back and visit her
Yeah.
from the rear.
No, but this one had a lot of features going on, and they also picked up like little bits and parts from the first movie
Okay.
and just blended right into the second movie.
Okay.
Pretty smooth, and definitely one of the fun part was trying to think Elton John's cameo. His
Oh,
cameo was
God.
ridiculous.
Yeah, you wouldn't think that
Yeah.
he would be in the movie for one thing, but they had Julianne Moore was the main villain, very kind of quirky and
Yeah.
comedic.
We won't give away
And-
too much, but she kidnaps him for a little bit.
Yeah, she's got the great dialogue in the movie, and she's kidnapped Elton John as like a servant.
And he is Elton John?
It is Elton
You know,
John. in the
it's
movie.
Elton John all the way
and,
through.
and he
I
has
see.
got like the best one-liners in the whole movie. He's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Now is he playing himself?
He's
No,
playing
he is.
himself.
Yeah.
He's playing
yeah.
himself. Okay.
Like
Yeah.
the best part, because we thought he was only gonna be there for like a scene or two.
Yeah.
he's actually in a
He
good
pops
amount.
in and out.
Yeah, yeah,
He's
a
very
good-
funny.
Good amount of
He
movie.
has a good sense of humor.
Yeah.
Now how did
And-
they? Unless it's a spoiler alert, because this is brand new.
Okay.
I mean, it's within days of
Yeah,
opening.
yeah,
right? How did they bring back Colin Firth? And the reason I asked this
Okay,
is
well, this
because
is-
it
I'm
was
getting
my
to
mother's
this one.
favorite actor across the
Okay.
board. Period. So how did they bring him back? He's got an eye patch.
in the
spoiler or
trailer-
no spoiler.
Well, I mean, is it a spoiler? He's clear. No, you
Yeah.
can say it, but because he's clearly back.
Yes,
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
trailer,
In
it
an actual
clearly
trailer,
shows.
yeah. So how did he get
Colin
back?
Firth's character is back. So he got
He
shot.
shot him in the
got shot in the
face.
eye, right?
In the eye, yeah.
And this is one of my gripes about this movie is that death in these movies, comic book movies, means nothing anymore. You get shot in the face, and then they just come with they write in this.
Apparently, this
it's
this
like a-
helicopter came down. The statesman came to check out the church where
Right.
the shooting was at.
Right.
And in Agent Tequila's hat, There was a
which it was great because the American version, they're all named after alcohol.
Alcohol, okay.
So funny.
and Agent Tequila in his hat had a little foam that has.
It's like some like gel bandage that they
Yeah.
wrap over his face,
Okay.
and then they like injected nanomachines into it or something,
And
then
the
like,
nanomachines
rebuilt
rebuilt his eye.
eyes and his brain and everything.
Mhm.
That's how they brought him back to life.
But the side effects to it, you'll have to see.
Now, one of the characters they brought in because of his box office power, he's getting better. I have to say, he's getting better. However, he's not.
You're gonna
yet-
be surprised at this one too.
Is Mr. Tatum a little stiff as he normally is?
Surprisingly,
He's funny.
he's good, but
Yeah.
he's only in maybe 5 minutes of the movie,
Okay.
which is surprising because the trailer really
Really?
kind of plays him
Well,
out
he's
to be like a
expensive.
central character.
He costs a lot.
He is not in much of the movie.
Okay.
But he's still pretty funny though for his scenes. He's still
Okay.
pretty funny.
Now I thought I recently saw.
And he's whiskey?
No, he's
No,
tequila.
he's tequila. Okay,
Yeah.
whiskey's the other one.
Now, John had mentioned earlier in the pre-show we were talking about something, and he mentioned the DuPont family. If you've ever if you want to are interested about the DuPont family and about their troubles, watch the movie Foxcatcher with Steve Carell and Channing Tatum
yes.
about the
Yep.
about the DuPonts and the wrestling and everything else.
Right.
Outstanding film.
I
Very
was
strange.
caught off guard by that movie.
Yeah.
That movie totally
Yeah.
caught me off guard.
Yeah,
I'm
but
sure Will
but
Ferrell
Channing
goes,
did a
outside the box on that one, huh?
Yeah.
But Channing Tatum did a fantastic job. But then I saw him in something after that, and he was back
To being Channing, right?
Magic Stiff Mike. You know.
Was it 23 Jump Street?
Right.
No,
I actually haven't
no,
seen that one, but I love 22. That was funny.
Did you? Really?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That one gets me a little bit.
You're losing your man card on this one. It's terrible films. All right, what do we got next?
But as far as that one, I think Sam and I both agreed it's about a 7 out of 10. We both enjoyed it.
Okay,
Check it
good.
out. Yeah.
Yeah, all right, I'm watching it.
Yeah, check it out. It was very fun. Next on the list,
the trailer.
we saw the trailer for Tomb Raider attached to this movie, and it's a reboot of a reboot
Yep.
of a video game.
Right.
So who knows how well that's gonna do? Because video games have a terrible box office curse.
I think Angelina Jolie was her physicality perfection.
At the time, she was
Absolute
a great
perfection.
Lara Croft. I thought. Yeah.
And people made fun of her British accent. I don't care. She did a great job. I love a little tiny Alicia Vikander.
Yeah.
Is that how you pronounce her name? How do you pronounce her last name? Is it Vikander?
Vikander.
Or Vikander?
Yeah.
Okay. Actress from Ex Machina.
Yeah, I love that movie.
A Danish Girl,
I
which
love
is
her.
you want
Yeah.
to see a disturbing film? See
Yeah.
The Danish Girl. But she's tiny though.
She is very
Yeah, she's
tiny.
very
But
tiny.
in this rebooted video game, that's pretty much her look.
It's pretty
she's
spot on.
pretty spot on.
Really?
yeah.
Because in the new video game that was released in 2013 and 2014, it was a more realistic look of Lara Croft.
Okay.
And this one matched it pretty well. And then so far from the trailers, I can tell that it does match up to the game.
Right.
The items that
Yeah,
she
they put
has,
some-
the clothes
some-
she's wearing, they actually put some effort into it, some thought into it. So
Okay.
hopefully it'll be a hit. It's not gonna be a big box office hit, but it'll make its money back. Hopefully,
So no franchise is still up in the air.
We'll see. We'll see.
It's tough, though,
they got to
because-
reboot some of these.
Yeah.
Because the actresses or actors get older. You can't put Angelina in that same
plus-
role anymore.
No, plus I mean she's already got an Oscar in her back pocket. I mean she's already bankable.
Which is funny because in the trailer they, of course they're gonna play that off. Academy Award winner.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the hell did she win an Academy Award for? And obviously, I
Yeah,
haven't
and
seen
little-
the Danish Girl. So.
Little nerdlingers that play the game don't care that she has an Oscar.
Exactly.
She was also The Man from U.N.C.L.?
yeah.
Yes.
She was
that's
from
right.
Uncle.
Yes.
Yeah, she was good
Yeah,
in that.
very.
Very
Yeah,
good.
that was
Okay.
great. Guy
That's
Ritchie
right.
again.
Yeah.
That was Guy Ritchie
Yeah.
movie
Yes.
too. Yeah, that was good.
That was another good Guy Ritchie movie. That was really fun.
Yeah.
The Spy versus Spy.
I'm telling you, he may have a cookie cutter.
It's got a good genre.
Well, it's a
There.
good formula.
He's
I enjoy
he's
his
got
formula.
it. Yeah, and people, if you take infomercials alone, we add 20 points to anybody that speaks British to their intelligence. So I mean,
That's right.
People
They're
love
all
that.
good bad guys.
What I thought was super funny from Man from Uncle is that they got the American guy to play the KGB guy,
Right.
And then they got the British guy to play the smooth
The
American,
American
spy.
guy.
Exactly.
I'm like, this
It's like-
is too funny.
How did they figure this out? Who casted this?
Right.
Right?
But it
Right.
worked.
It's Superman versus the Lone Rider.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, an Army Hammer's like what 6'8". He's giant.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
He'd be a
Alright.
good Green Lantern if they ever cast Hal Jordan, dude. He'd be a good Hal Jordan.
I could see that.
think. Yeah.
Yeah.
You mean the straight or the gay one?
No, the straight one.
What?
Okay.
No, they,
Whatever's the PC answer, I guess. Whatever's not going to get.
There's no PC on this show.
Oh, there isn't?
No PC.
Then
We're not-
whatever.
we
I
are
don't
not
care.
social justice warriors.
Whatever marks
it
the
or leave
box
it.
for whatever marks the box for the
Hollywood.
Hollywood,
Yeah,
whatever
just check
Hollywood
it
wants to
things,
do.
right?
Yeah, doesn't want to check it down.
All right, what do we got?
Anyway, another trailer that we saw, which I know Sam's a big fan of here, Isle of Dogs.
By Wes Anderson?
Wes Anderson. Go ahead, Sam. I know this is your.
I think the
baby.
claymation / stock animation looks
Yeah.
really good. Like Wes Anderson's movie style is very. He has his own cookie cutter formula too, which is whimsical and awkward, funny.
Mm-hmm.
So
What else has he done?
Rushmore,
And
Mushroom Kingdom, Moonrise Kingdom. Sorry, the Grand Budapest Hotel.
Mushroom Kingdom is where John enters the conversation.
That's right. Mushrooms? Somebody talk about mushrooms?
Huh?
The Aquatic Life of Steve Zissou. Like he's done like all these movies, and
gotcha.
over 90% of them, 98% of them contain Bill Murray somewhere somehow.
Right, of
so
course.
it's good. It's a good duo. I think this will be a fun movie. But I don't know if you guys ever seen any Wes Anderson movies.
I have not seen any of those.
Honestly, I haven't either.
Yeah.
It's kind of a
A
weird
world fan.
subgenre that I
Yeah.
haven't really gotten into.
Now I do have a
But
question.
this one, just because of its animation style, I kind of am interested.
I
in.
definitely recommend The Incredible Mr. Fox to watch with first,
Okay.
because that has George Clooney and Owen Wilson in it, and that one's pretty funny. Oh,
Okay.
and of course, it's that one's the stock animation.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. I think I've seen Moonrise Kingdom.
Yes.
That was about
the
the little-
camper?
the kid, and he kind of goes on his own little adventure with
Yeah.
his
Right.
little girlfriend. And
Yeah.
Right. It's on Netflix.
Yeah.
It streams
It was
now.
a good movie.
Yeah. Now I have a question. Everybody, John, you've not seen the trailer for the Isle of Dogs.
No, I haven't.
I watched the trailer in preparation for this. Did the trailer seem inordinately long?
Oh yeah, a little bit.
Okay, because they were dangerously close to a novice to Wes Anderson to basically
Just giving away the whole movie.
this entire film.
Right.
I'm sure there's more.
Obviously.
Yeah.
But I mean, when they make those mistakes and like the
don't wanna-
schlock B films, this is the entire film. It just seemed long to me. I don't know. But then and then of course it had a very huge Asian influence, and all the characters that were listed with their kanji as well as their full names, and I was shocked at the number of people involved. Heavyweights. Yeah.
As in voice actors?
Yeah,
or-
voice
or-
actors.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Liev Schreiber's in it, dude.
Yeah.
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 So-
It's just
and Bryan Cranston,
Bryan
he's
Cranston,
in it too.
Yeah.
I was surprised by the casting. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, cool. They got all these guys on to do Wes Anderson movie.
Cranston kills it when it comes to voice acting.
Oh.
They love him right now.
Cranston's good.
Yeah.
He's almost good at anything, you know?
Yeah, they must have a pretty good budget.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Pretty good for sure.
Wow.
I still think it's funny that good old Cranston, for me, always will be the dad from Malcolm in the Middle.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, he's got to make up. Cranston's got to make up for breaking Godzilla. That was horrible.
Which movie? I don't know what you're talking about.
Gojira.
He was only in that movie for like 5 minutes.
Yeah,
That's
I
true.
was so bummed out.
Yeah.
I know.
It was kind of it was a bad remake. They could have done.
Yeah.
I don't know. The sequel was okay because they actually got him fighting. Was it Mothra, right?
Mothra.
And then the next one they're supposed to bring in Ghidorah. So
Yeah.
fingers crossed.
Well,
But
we'll see how it
the
goes.
two little girls were in it. The two little Mothra chicks. Were they in that one?
No.
Do you remember
Oh, there's
that?
nothing like
From
the
like the
original one.
originals?
Yeah.
Some of the
I remember
olden
that.
days.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah, it's the
Two girls.
John must
Yeah, I
remember.
remember the Mothra.
You see,
yes.
John lived in Japan for many,
Yeah,
many,
yeah.
you know.
He
that
lived
little
through.
tiny
He lives
girls.
through the
Yes.
Godzilla attacks.
That's
so
right.
That's right.
That's right. Mothra and
So
Mecha
when you-
Godzilla.
When you live in Japan, did you ever buy Godzilla insurance just in
That's right.
case?
Just in
No,
case.
anything
no,
happened?
they didn't
Yeah.
have that. They didn't
Yeah.
offer that.
Kaiju insurance.
Alcohol is an insurance probably. All right. All right. So Adam, The Gifted.
Yeah, a couple other
Another
side notes.
one I don't know anything about.
Coming out, I believe this weekend, right, Sam?
Comes out this week, Monday or Tuesday.
The Gifted.
on
It's
Fox.
it's an X-Men spin-off.
More mutants.
More
Yeah, more
involvement
mutants,
by,
any superhero.
Bryan Singer. Bryan Singer's involved in this one too.
Okay.
It could be 50-50 for me. Fox is usually it's got a bad track record with anything
Killing
sci-fi
good
or
TV shows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes.
I'll probably give this.
Let me give it a
one,
try.
like- yeah, I'll
Give it
give
a
it
try.
definitely 4 or 5 episodes. Check
Yeah.
it out. See how it goes.
Okay.
Because we already covered it. How this is a X-Men show that doesn't even touch the timeline from the movie series at all.
Right. It's kind of like its own little universe. I believe it's X Factor.
Yes.
X
No, it's
Factor,
it's
so
it's
that's
Fox.
a different team.
It's
It's
Fox.
Fox,
so it's going to be
yeah,
on like a
live-
Fox now, but
live action.
Okay, but they don't put things out full season. It's singles.
No, it'll be a weekly thing. I believe.
It'll be a
Singles,
weekly.
okay. All right.
And every time the weekly is shown, then it'll upload it to Fox Now or Fox Go, whatever their
Okay.
apps are.
All right.
So it'll be ready to go. But me and Adam already talked about how this already seemed kind of hero-ish.
Very.
When the dad found out that his kids are mutants, now he's on the run with his
He's
kids.
got to
trying
protect his kids
them.
from the government and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That kind of sounds like a rip-off of The Fury. Remember that? The old John
Yes,
Ferris?
absolutely.
Yeah, and they made a movie that, I think Brian De Palma directed that.
Now, John, your boy is how old is he now?
16, he'll be
16.
17 next month.
Okay.
Nice.
Now, is he in tune like Sam and Adam and their friends to
With the geek culture.
Yeah, or is he's a very intellectual kid.
Yeah.
He's very inside of himself. I laugh because I recently went there. I hadn't seen John's son in a long time, and I went to his house, and it was literally like it was Fast Times at Ridgemont High. It was, and I sat down on the couch. He walked in, and I got the head nod. I was like, "Hey,
What up?
yeah," and it was so funny. But he's such a high schooler. But is he on the cutting edge of technology? All the stuff that we talk about on the show. Does he give a shit?
Not much. He
No.
doesn't
He
much give a shit. Now he'll he saw it. He went to it with his friends to see it, and
Yeah.
we went to see Spider-Man,
Okay.
and we'll look at the trailers, and very often he'll surprise me with what he wants to see.
Right.
He likes stuff that's historical, but we noticed the last time we went, he said every one of those trailers sucked, and I thought you're right. There was
They're
one
not
movie.
putting out anything quality.
Yeah, they didn't. The only thing that looked interesting, he said the same thing. He goes, that one there didn't look too bad. It was the remake of Murder on the Orient Express.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That looked
Yeah,
pretty
the cast
good.
is good on that.
The cast
Yeah.
is really good on that. So, but there was another movie about some minister in a little church trying to build something, and I told him, I said, I'm warning you, if you fuck up at school this year, I'm going to make you come see this movie all day long because
Does it
as
look
a
terrible,
punishment,
huh?
it looked
Yeah.
terrible. So who wants to see that?
That's a good threat.
Yeah.
I think that was called Footloose, right?
One trailer out of the 20-minute trailer pack is worth.
So he doesn't
watching.
watch much TV. What he does
No.
watch is like Game of Thrones. So he knows pretty
Something
much
he can binge on.
everything about Game of Thrones,
That's
about
good.
the actors
See,
and whatever. So he
See,
knows that.
Interestingly enough, though, that he's under millennial. I mean, which I'll be really interested to see that battle. Where is the marketing battle between your boy and the millennials? Because your son, he may be an exception, but your son seems to represent a generation that doesn't binge, that is really focused on like one thing. Game of Thrones. I like Game of Thrones. Everybody likes Game of Thrones, but I mean, I'll be, whereas Sam and Adam, their generation,
We're watching,
you're-
all the shows.
You can't get enough. I mean,
Yeah.
you're just ripping through things, and if they don't make, if on episode 4 it still sucks, you're gone. It's really interesting, and it's very fast paced. I mean, it's like you're running through a tunnel watching all these things. And then my generation and John's generation, I mean, it's time. Time is most difficult. So it's very interesting to see
When we were
the
younger,
difference.
the whole market has just been so saturated.
Yes.
It's like how nobody can watch all this shit.
Yeah.
There's not enough
That's true.
hours in a day. And I
Exactly.
see Amazon and Netflix and
They're all
Hulu,
picking up their individual different shows.
Right.
and it came out at one time that they all had something that was really good. When Amazon first came out with one of their first shows,
Right.
I think
The
they
Man
did.
in the High Tower.
They did The Man on the High Tower is really good.
I watched that, yeah.
And I watched that and Bosch because I like the novels
Yeah.
by Michael Connolly.
Right.
So I watched that. Netflix, when they came out with theirs, I watched Narcos, the first season.
Yeah.
I loved it. Just
And-
finished the second one.
And
Yeah.
that's it. I haven't
House of
I got,
Cards
and they're
and-
coming out with the third season. I haven't even
Yeah.
seen the second yet because
Yeah.
Yeah, they're pumping them out.
they're
Oh,
pumping them out too
Speaking
fast.
of that, strange
Full
trivia.
seasons.
Narcos. The second one ended with the Cali cartel getting destroyed, and the guy that's in it, he was also in Kingsman. He was the guy with the whip.
The Viper.
Yeah.
Which the whip was pretty awesome, by the way. That was
Very
probably
cool because he
very
actually learned to do the whip
Yeah.
thing. Part of it's CG, but the end of Narcos, he was going to move on to the Mexican cartels. Well, the actual scout for the show, was found murdered in his car by the Mexican cartels.
Nice.
Yeah.
What?
He was doing too much
The actual
research.
scout for the show, who has done the show the last
Wow.
2 seasons and is a veteran of scouting Mexico, got clipped by the cartel and shoved in his car.
Wow.
Wow.
They'll get
He,
cooked for.
He
I don't know,
walked in.
'cause
He
he's
walked into
he's-
the wrong area.
Yeah, because he's Hispanic. I don't know what happened, but yeah, they don't care. The cartels are crazy.
Wow,
That's
Yeah.
freaking
craziness.
nuts.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you guys, talking about remakes. You guys see the new trailer for Death Wish?
Oh, I want to see
Directed
that.
by Eli Roth.
Yeah,
Yes, Eli
I want to
Roth
see that.
with Bruce Willis,
Yeah.
Bruce
Yeah.
Willis is playing the
Yeah.
hoodied man, I guess, if you want
Yeah.
to call him that.
Well, it's not the original. He wasn't a
Charles
hoodie guy.
Bronson. Was
Yeah,
it?
Charles Bronson was
yeah.
the original one.
Yeah.
And Charles Bronson was born to play. That's the only role he could play.
Yeah.
Charles Bronson was that.
Well, I remember Charles Bronson from an episode of The Twilight Zone, when it's him and the I Dream of Jeannie.
No,
they
Barbara
were-
Eden.
Barbara Eden.
Yeah, they were in a episode together, and she was like from a different clan. He's from a different clan. They're on the same planet that's lit, and they had to learn to get along with each other. Like, I remember the episode of Twilight Zone. It was pretty funny to see them so young. I was like, oh my god, that's the guy from Death Wish.
You always see like random actors in Twilight Zone.
Oh,
They're,
yeah.
like, famous. Like
Shatner, of course, was
Yeah.
played one of the more famous ones about the
little-
gremlin on the wing.
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
okay,
Yeah. Which
Yeah.
brings up your last thing.
Shatner, yeah,
Shatner,
good lead
Star
in.
Trek,
So also
yeah.
starting, I believe, Sunday, which
Yeah.
will be past when this comes out, but the new Star Trek Discovery.
Are you looking forward to it?
Like
Really?
I said with The Gifted, I'm going to give it a shot.
Okay.
This one's supposed to be kind of more in line with the movies, a little more.
Not related, but more that style.
Yeah, more that style, a little more actiony.
But of
little
course,
more
folks are already complaining
dramatic.
about the Klingon look.
Yeah, the Klingons look different. They look a little weird, but like I said, I'm going to give it a shot.
Definitely worth checking out, especially with the cast.
Yeah.
I'm
Cool.
down to check out the cast.
Did you watch the episode 2 of Orville?
It's actually on episode 3.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm still on it.
They
I
moved
think,
it
I
over
think
to
it's
Thursday
funny.
now.
Yeah, it's on Thursday. It took a big hit, obviously coming off from Sunday after football,
Yeah.
then moving to Thursday night. But
The last one I watched,
it's
I
pretty
think
funny.
I thought was number 2. I thought they were put in
they were laying the
zoo.
egg. Yeah,
They were put in the zoo and the egg.
And
yeah.
the third one
Okay.
is more about the child.
Oh, good
So,
lord.
and actually, it brings up some of the political stuff going on now with transgender people and all that kind of stuff.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
hitting on. They're hitting on the cultural things like the old
And all
Star
the
Trek
check
does.
marks.
Oh yeah.
Well, I was gonna say like kind of the old Star Trek hit on aspects of the day
Right.
that necessarily weren't okay to portray.
The troubles
but,
with green chicks and
yeah, exactly. So yeah, I'm still on it. It's pretty funny.
Cool.
As with Star Trek, we'll give it a shot and we'll tell you how it is.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
Yep. There you go.
All right, Concierge Chronicle this week, keeping the series going with your first visit or continuing visit of Las Vegas. We first brought you into the airport. John's missed a couple of episodes. First one, John, we did talked about landing in Las Vegas and the experience that you have. We talked a little bit about how it compares to landing in Cabo, and you'll have to listen to that. But so we've landed. We've landed. We're in an Uber, Lyft, cab, shuttle, limousine. Coming to hopefully the straightest route to where they're going. We're going to call it the Venetian.
All right.
Stranger in a strange hotel is what I called it. And so
Nice.
John and I,
That's a Heinlein reference.
that's right. John and I have the distinction, several distinctions. We're old.
We're old.
But
I'm
we,
older.
We are
more
what they
decrepit.
refer to in town as founders. Founders usually means that you were there hired to open a casino. John and I were hired for the concierge department of the Venetian Hotel, and we opened it. It was less than sterling.
May 5th, 1999.
May 5th,
Ooh.
1999.
David,
John
Cinco
and
de
I,
Mayo?
That's right.
John
Was that
and
crazy?
Yes,
I think it was,
we're
yeah.
standing there, and
Getting
they
our
were
ass kicked.
they were yes, but before we
Where
got
the
our
free margaritas.
before we got our asses handed to us, they had to get the certificate of occupancy, which they got the night of,
Yeah.
while people stood outside waiting to get in the hotel.
They couldn't get in without it.
They
Yeah,
couldn't
in
get
fact,
in without it.
we
Sounds
had-
like a great organization.
It's actually
skills.
called a TCO, a temporary certificate of occupancy, meaning that you can come into a building that's just been built.
Do you remember who we had the celebrity they brought in?
I don't.
Sophia Loren.
So that's right.
And the thing was is that and it was a
right.
real coup for Steve Wynn because at that time he still owned the Mirage,
Yes.
right? And she couldn't stay at the Venetian because they didn't have the
Right.
certificate of occupancy.
Yeah.
So nobody could stay there. So he graciously allowed her to stay at the Mirage, and she
That's
came across the
right.
street for the grand opening.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
that's right.
That's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
But that's another distinction we have is that we opened the Venetian, we worked at the Venetian, and
our employee numbers were under 1,000,
And
and
we're
that
all-
was a big thing. After a
Yes.
while, you had people into the tens and 20,000s.
Do you
and I was
remember
like,
yours?
No, I don't. Probably 666. That would have been an
Yes.
appropriate number.
Yes. Well, that
Good one. Number of the
yes.
beast.
Mine was 157. Yeah. Yeah. The only
random-
reason I remember that is because that when I discontinued my service to the Venetian, they put that it was on the paperwork. I just found it interesting.
They retired your number
They
because you were
retired
so
my
good.
number. That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
Were you the Michael Jordan of the Venetian?
That's right.
Is that
You
what
know
happened?
what?
And the Raptors on a banner.
We had an outstanding department, I have to say. It was I had more fun, as I've said, in the 12 weeks of our training than I have in any position that I've ever been filled. But and I hope you agree.
Yeah, so it was fun coming to work for those first 12 weeks.
Yeah, it quickly turned into something that we realized
You weren't prepared for.
we weren't prepared for. We thought it was going to be wholly different. We should have known by night one that it was going to be different because
you like go through 12 weeks of training, and night one you're like, I am so screwed.
yeah, and there's nobody. If there's a problem, you look behind you. You are by yourself, except
you got
your-
nobody
your-
but
except-
ghosts.
Yeah, except your
Yeah.
team. Yeah, there's no support structure. They don't provide the tools. It's a terrible environment because they don't care. There's the guy right behind you that'll take your job. And that's the way it is.
It's a $12.95 an hour and all this shit you can eat.
That's right.
That's what it was.
The buffet.
And I had it probably worse though. I think, and you as well,
Yeah.
because I was the oldest one.
You were.
And people would look at me and assume that I was in charge.
Yes, that's
And
very
I would
true.
say, no, it's that young woman over there who's probably young enough to be my daughter, the
That's
one who's
right.
like can barely old enough to drink. She's
Yeah.
the one in charge.
Yeah, behind
because
the
she's
ficus.
yes, because I'm smart enough to know that I don't want her job and make another. She
There
makes
you go.
$2 more an hour than I do.
Right.
Yeah,
and I don't want the stress. So
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
worth it. That's
it's not worth it.
But more to the point, that just again to restate our expertise in this particular field. Now they've arrived. They're at the valet. That's the first thing you hit is the valet. Of most casinos, I mean, sometimes you get dropped off and well, I don't know. Uber on the majors. I don't know where Uber and
They have
the
their own little
hailing
valets.
services. Yeah, okay, but still the valet, right?
pretty
Yeah.
much, yeah.
So, it's usually palatial. It's pretty magnificent. Caesar's Venetian Mirage. It's all thematic, of course, but it's very impressive.
Yeah.
It's a facade, of course, but people always refer to that, negatively. I don't know why. I mean, it's a beautiful facade, and you walk in, and that's when the first thing hits you is that you're not alone. Everyone is here, all of California. There's
Sure.
nobody left from San Francisco all the way down to Baja. Everybody has come to
And
Vegas.
very loud.
Yeah,
Especially
and loud.
4th of July
Yes.
weekend. Oh, forget about it, dude.
Yeah, stay
4th of
away
July
from
weekend.
here on fight weekends unless you're here for the fight and 4th of July. Stay away from any. It's just, we're a tourist place.
We're not trying
Yeah.
to be negative to let the
Yeah.
audience know. We're just explaining to
Yeah.
you the realness, the fact that
Just shoulder
when
to
you
shoulder
come
people.
here- yeah,
Yeah.
shoulder to shoulder people and shoulder to shoulder traffic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On
Yeah.
the way in
Yeah.
and on the way out.
Unless you are very, very patient.
Yeah.
You're going to be
Oh,
stuck
yeah.
in lines.
No.
You're going to be in traffic. You're going to be in and out of parking garages.
It's like everywhere you go, it's hurry up and wait.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
ahead.
I was going to say, what do you think of the pools at Mandalay Bay? You think they're nice?
Mandalay Bay, of course, has the beach, which is a giant faux wave pool. Very well done, and I've been on it when it's been pristine, and I've been on it when it's just a deluge of people.
Yeah.
And of course they have Morea, which is a private pool, which is also topless during the summer.
Yep.
And then they also have a VIP pool area, which is extremely small. I think it's well done, but it's not a pool. It's not really as the contemporary pools, as you know, a big
Right.
square thing like Caesar's Palace is a giant square pool.
Yeah.
It's nice. I mean, I think people in a beach environment, may it be faux or not, they excel at being disgusting pigs, and they're rude, and it's hard to traverse the sand. Whereas other pools where it's a hardscape, you can just walk to your cabana or walk to your chair if you can get a chair. It's very difficult to get a chair. So it's nice. It's nice. It's interesting. I think it's a one visit thing. It's like, oh, that's amazing and wonderful. You spend the day, and then I don't know if I'd ever go back because of the beach. You know?
Yeah.
Maybe to see a concert.
I mentioned because it kind of ties into this.
Yeah.
I had read years ago, 7, 8 years ago, there was a review on Yelp by somebody who was there, a guest, and they were ripping into it, and their whole complaint about it was because it was crowded.
Right.
And they said, I was there on a Monday, and I thought I'd have it all to myself. And I thought, yes. Just think, again, I thought, look, lady.
Like, what state did you come from?
Yeah. We got a hotel, 4,500 rooms, right? Plus, that's not including the one they share, the Four Seasons.
Yes.
Plus, they have that other one now. What is it called? The Delano. It used to be called The Hotel.
Yeah, The Hotel, yeah.
Right.
And they all share it too. Yeah. So if based on double occupancy, you likely have, we're talking 10,000 people staying there. Easy.
Everyone has the same thought as you, lady.
And everybody has
it's a
the
nice
same
Monday,
thought. So if you really want to have the pool all to yourself, go stay at, the Fleabag by Marriott.
Your mother's house.
Or your mother's house, right. Or the Econo Lodge.
Yeah.
Those are the types of things, and I think that's some of the problems people have, is they don't, we're going to go to Las Vegas.
Maybe that's what they're expecting, more of a pool, like you said. It's like more of a location or like
a destination.
It's just because you go almost anywhere else, you're going to have the pool to yourself. But you're never going to have the pool to yourself here.
No, you have nothing to yourself.
Even if it's 50% occupancy, which would be really,
and that's
really
not
low.
even counting the people that just come in from the street or from locals that want to come in.
So getting back to the arrival. So you arrive in Valet. Now, Adam brought up something a second ago that I don't think anybody heard. But you arrive in Valet, they take your bags, and they will take your bags, and I would recommend it because it is a
it's a maze,
great distance and a maze to get to your room most places. So have them do it. $2 a bag. Nothing's changed. If you want to spend more, great. Spend more and get some information from the bell captain. And they're usually pretty good at having information, at least about their own hotel. So don't be afraid to give your bags. It's a great deal of help. Now, you walk in, and as Adam stated, it's usually palatial and wonderful, and you walk in, much like the Venetian, you walk into this giant thing called the Oculus, which is looks like a map legend thing, and it's actually a fountain, and it's loud. Yep. And lines of people.
Lots of people, lots of slot machines.
There's a din that you can never imagine, that you suddenly really can't hear right, and you can't hear the person next to you.
Yep.
And so you see these lines, and the lines are the front desk, because on all the busy times, like Sam said, 4th of July and fight weekend, when Mayweather decides to fight, and all these other huge weekends, the hotels don't staff correctly, they don't prepare correctly, they don't clean the rooms fast enough, they don't have anything, because they're trying to suck every dollar out of the situation. And so you're waiting and you're waiting and you're waiting. So, but that's not bad, because John and I, the very first night at the Venetian, there they were, the lines. People came in, and it was actually kind of scary. They came in this wave of people. Some were coming to stay, some were coming to look and gawk, but then the lines were there. And of course, what happened? Air conditioning went down. It got hot. So
Perfect.
But don't be discouraged, folks that are visiting Las Vegas.
That's right.
Because very soon there's actually the first positive that happens, which John and I don't know. We've talked about this at great length. Then come
positive for whom?
That's right. Then come the cocktails.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Because they think, okay, we're gonna give them something free. Their first comp. Which I don't even know if it happens much anymore. But here comes the cocktail waitresses, very pretty, very well dressed, and with the drinks and waters and things like that. Well, John and I have discussed about the fact that do you want them to be mollified by alcohol or not?
Yeah, and it really just amplifies their anger.
Yes.
So then they start bringing down another.
They should have been passing out dubes.
Yeah, they should have been. My trail mix.
Your trail mix.
Trail mix.
Hole right there in the front.
The Mushroom Kingdom.
The Mushroom Kingdom. I want to be. I'm the Mushroom King.
Yeah, but as soon as they get the alcohol in them, they are
they
super entitled. They don't want to wait anymore.
Yeah.
That's right. And I told you that then when they did check in, they walked right by the desk, and I got called an asshole so many times.
You thought it was your name.
Yeah, I thought, yes. I should have just put it on my name card.
That's right.
Asshole.
Title.
Right.
It's a title.
Yeah, it's a title. And they
but you have to make it
Mr.
classy. You have to
Asshole
make
to
it
you.
WHOLE.
Yeah, and
That's right.
that nice Venetian font that they had.
There you go. Perfect.
But they would bring down. Oh, let's bring down the character actors. And they had that poor bastard on stilts.
stilts,
I said,
yes.
no, don't. That guy's going to end up in the fountain. You just know it. Someone's going to knock him over into that fountain.
Yeah, juggling stilt guy.
Yes.
Seemingly in every hotel, every theme has a juggling stilt guy.
Yeah.
They need to retire that.
But the thing is I for business, I go to a lot of hotels, and I find that, sure, they're much smaller, but they're not any more efficient.
Yeah.
If there's 3 people in front of me, it takes me, I'll check in 5 or 6 minutes. Well, at the Venetian, you're going to have 50 people in front of you.
Yeah.
But we have 9 we have 9 agents checking people in.
Right.
And they're timed to how fast they can get people through
Sure,
there.
absolutely. Just
So
like any
it
other
looks
position.
long, and they would come to the desk. Do I have to wait in that line to check in?
Right.
Yes. I'm not going to do that. Well,
Then
then don't check in.
Yeah, fine.
What do you
See you
want me to
later.
do? Yeah, see you later.
Here's
And
the
they
door.
They would try to bribe me to do it. I can't do it. I'm not
Yeah.
being
You're like,
obstinate or unhelpful.
Yeah.
I
don't
have
even know how to get into that
I
system.
don't know how to get into
We
the
did,
system.
actually.
Did you?
John and I learned
Yes.
after
Right.
a while.
We learned,
and
and
we
that's
were
what-
actually get
that-
keys and everything.
That was like biting the apple.
It
I don't
was-
want to know this information.
Yes.
I shouldn't have this
Right,
knowledge.
right.
Don't give me
Then
this
you gotta do it.
responsibility. I'm not getting paid enough.
However, I have to say that if you're confronted once you arrive and you walk in and you adjust your hearing, and you see the lines, it's okay because you've given your bags away. You've gotten rid of the burden. Your wife's still with you, but you got rid of the bags. And so if you're told that your room's not ready, which is very, very common, it's very common in any situation, any country, globally, your room is never ready. I don't know why Lupita and the gang can't get the rooms ready, but
The who?
the gang.
Who's the gang?
Lupita.
Who's Lupita?
Lupita.
What's her
The house-
ethnicity? Can
The
you
girl,
explain to me?
the girls that drive the dualies, they can't get them out of the garage.
What kind of people are they?
They're small Hispanic people.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Or Cubans.
Oh, okay.
Or DRs or whatever you want. Yeah. Or where John's from now. We have a
Philippines,
Filipina.
yeah.
Yeah. They're Filipina. Huge Filipina contingent in the maid service now, because they want the exodus is from the Philippines.
Yeah.
Yeah. But either way, they can't get the rooms ready. Don't know why, because it's the white people that schedule them. Right? Yeah. You see? Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
I'm blaming the white people. Yeah, it's the man. Yeah, we can't trust the man. So the room's not ready. But
Or they understaffed
don't.
too.
Yes, this. But
Most
don't be
likely.
disheartened. Take the time and say, okay, unless you're in a hurry, say, okay, get your drink. Go enjoy the casino. Come back in an hour. It's okay.
Go lose a couple $100 first,
Yeah.
and then come back and
Yeah.
check
Yeah,
in.
exactly.
And you don't
Play a
have
few hands and make bucks.
you don't have to gamble. But if you do,
Yeah.
go play your first machine.
Yeah.
Have fun.
You know what used to always annoy me was when people would then ask me, well, how do I get to the rooms? And I'd give them the directions. And they would accuse me. You're trying to make me walk through the casino. No, that's just where the elevators are. I didn't design
Be like,
it. I'm not the architect.
the planners of this casino probably
Yeah.
laid it out that way.
Yeah, and
but
that's
I didn't
why-
have anything to do with it.
That's right.
it was the Venetian Hotel Resort Casino.
casino,
We've
yeah.
got all 3 of them.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, you have to think in terms of distance.
Yeah.
Your elevator is not going to be right. If you want that, like I said, go stay at the Econo Lodge.
Yeah. Right.
Because it'll be nice and convenient
Be
for you.
close,
Otherwise,
yeah.
walk through there. I'm not trying to make you gamble.
How many times have you guys been asked, where's the clock?
Yeah, and then
Tell
then
them on
they've
purpose.
watched
No
the
windows,
show.
no clocks.
These
Yeah.
people think they're so clever because they've watched the show on the Travel Channel. Oh, you don't have a. You're trying to.
No,
I'm
no,
not
no.
trying to do anything.
I
I'm
don't
just
blame
trying
the
to.
Travel Channel. The one movie I will blame for Vegas is The Hangover.
Oh.
As soon as they released The Hangover that year, my job got 10 times
Right.
worse.
Yeah,
'Cause I
people
kept
just
hearing
thought they'd get away with anything.
Yeah.
I kept hearing the same joke. Is there a tiger in my
tiger?
hotel room? Yes. I personally put a tiger in there just for
You're
you.
like, no, you have to pay
because
extra
watch
for
the
that.
movie.
Yeah. But there's also the possibility, because you've been inconvenienced. Now, don't really think that you've been inconvenienced, because honestly, Las Vegas doesn't care. Hotels don't care. But there is the opportunity, and that's why I have a note here: the reality of upgrades. Now, globally, you can ask to be upgraded. I plan on doing it when I travel to Europe. And there is that possibility. You don't be an asshole about it. But there is the possibility
Please
that
don't. Ask nicely. It's
ask
just
nicely.
be nice.
And you know what? Sometimes the front desk staff can do it. They have the power. Some don't have the power to even do it. They would have to go through a process to get it upgraded. Sometimes you do. Concierge, they can, with front desk assistance, they can possibly request an upgrade, maybe for a newlywed couple, or a nice anniversary, or something that needs to be recognized. But there is a reality to upgrades in Las Vegas. However, there has to be a reason, or B, you have to be a very courteous guest and see what there is. And of course, take care of whoever upgrades you.
Should we elaborate on that part?
You know what?
I think we've hit it almost every episode.
It's a 20.
Yeah, tip some people.
Tip some people.
You know?
Give them a 20. Slide the desk assistant a 20. Was it hard for them to do it? Nah, not so much. But
you want to acknowledge them,
Yeah, thanks a lot, because that upgrade actually is
probably pretty expensive.
Based on the rack rate, is pretty expensive. So a 20 to the guy. So, and they're not going to refuse it. Yes, they can accept it. There's no front desk staff that I know that's going to turn down a tip.
Well, they got to play the game though.
Right.
No. Oh, okay.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate it.
Now, I'm gonna put John on the spot because we need to move this one along.
Oh, there we go.
Now, dirty rooms.
Yeah.
Rooms can be dirty because people are pigs, and I hate them all.
Yeah.
Can you remember? I'm going to tell one, and then to give you time to remember one. Okay. Remember where the people that came down to complain had the right to come down and complain, and I'll tell you mine. One of the first days that we opened, a person came down. And they were irate. And we had already dealt with every irate person we thought, ever.
Gotcha.
But here comes this guy. And he comes to our desk, mistakenly, of course. And he can barely compose himself to discuss this with me. And I said, I will be glad to help you. He was just exasperated. And I said, I will be glad to help you. And he said, we need a new room and we need it now. And I said, well, I can't do that personally, but I will walk you to a desk assistant who can. Can you please tell me the situation? And he proceeded to, and most of the time this is like, oh, really, dude? A toenail? Or you found what? Or your bed wasn't made, and it was just ridiculousness. Well, he brought the reason. And he had this pillow in his hand.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. He had the pillow in his hand. And he said, well, I'm going to show you this. And what I didn't realize was, and he flipped the pillow over, and it was absolutely covered in blood. Yeah.
Yummy.
And I got to say, the minute I saw that, I was like, you need to be moved and you need to be upgraded.
That's right.
And so that's mine. That was the most memorable thing where I was like, there was no argument.
Just jaw drop.
I didn't slip into really good management, James, because he was absolutely right.
Yeah,
that's
there's nothing
disgusting.
you can do about that.
Yeah, that's a hazmat thing right there. And so obviously we took care of it, and the man was taking care of it, and he actually thanked me on the way out, which was also a rarity. Yeah. John, what do you remember?
Well, I don't. Maybe because after my first or second year there, I got moved to the day shift. Yeah. So I didn't really have that much going on. But what I do remember were the ones that tried to scam us.
Yes.
Came down, the front desk just told me this, it came down with a big wad of tissue paper. I found this under the bed. And there sitting on the top, like a crown jewel, was a toenail. Right? Just a crescent of a toenail. Yeah. Well, it's worth, if you want to know how much is a toenail worth, it's worth $50. Because that's, I'll tell me, I said, I don't want to look at that fucking thing. Here's $50. I said, yeah, but now you encourage these people to do that. Come on, it was that goddamn toenail. It's probably his own toenail.
Right.
Now what I thought, what I would have done at the front desk, let me see that. I would have pretended I took the toenail. Tastes like chicken.
Yes.
Fuck off.
See you later.
Yeah. So no, I didn't really get that. But one thing that did happen, remember we used to do the room tours.
Yes.
And they would give us a key and say, okay, we got an empty room. People want to see it once an hour. I got to log people up there to look at the room. I'm sorry, it's a suite. Look at the suite. Yes. Well, occasionally they would screw up, and they would actually then sell out that room and not tell us. Mm-hmm. So I have a key that fully functions to a room that is now occupied. And I opened it up, went there, oops. And there's a guy standing there, just came out of the shower, and he's got a pair of boxer shorts on and a big gut, Mm-hmm. So I said, oh, shit, I'm so sorry. And I tried to get away from him. No. Yeah. He runs me down. He thought I was coming in there to rip him off because I knew he was in the shower and was going to steal all of his stuff.
Oh, gosh.
And I, okay, I'm sorry. I want to talk to the hotel man. Good. That's what he's paid for. He's paid here to listen to you, and it's going to be worth $50 to you.
Right.
So I had to go down and tell the guy, saying, "Look, this is what happened. I had the key. Nobody told me. The room had been rented out.
Yeah.
So now you go deal with this prick."
Yeah.
I was with you, John.
That's your problem.
So a quick recap. You arrive on your Uber. You come through the doors. You let the sound settle. You give your bags away, making sure to get ready for that tip. Then your bags will then arrive as normal. For those of you who have never been to a hotel, they'll arrive a little bit later, sometimes a lot later. But a couple bucks a bag. Don't worry about the lines. Take the cocktails. Go enjoy it. Don't spend too much because you're going to be there at least a couple, 3 days. And then ask for the upgrade nicely with a tip in hand, and then go to your room. Be prepared for somewhere between 100 yards and 3.5 miles to get to your room. And I'm not kidding, it's a long way to get to your room. So if you have anybody that's possibly infirmed or can't walk for a long way, you know what? The Bell Captain has wheelchairs. And they actually have motorized scooters, which I don't recommend. But many of the time that I rolled down the Venetian hallways on a scooter because people didn't know how to use it, so I had to go get it. But now you're in your room, and that's where we're going to pick up the next section. But I'm going to ask you each one a question. You give me yes or no. Room service, yes or no?
If I'm lazy, go downstairs, then yes.
Really?
No.
No.
No. Why do we say no, Sam? Because we've seen the back of the house of the room service area.
But now if you know the people, then you're good.
No, doesn't matter. You never order room service. Ever.
I'm going to say no, because you're wrong.
Really?
Yeah, because when you know people in the service industry, you get taken care of.
I know, but the guests that we're talking to, they don't know the people.
Oh, no. Oh, yeah, guess-wise?
Not us.
Oh, okay.
Them.
If I was
if
someone
you got your
town,
guy in room service that's not gonna drop your hamburger and then
Put it back on the plate.
Yeah.
Good Lord. If you're going to order room service, it better be something simple.
Yeah, and there's no...
If you're too lazy to go down to the deli to get your hamburger,
that's right,
then you're asking for it.
Yeah, it sits out there, and then either people behind the house walk by, big mound of French fries. Here, I'll take one.
Take a couple. Yeah.
And this is a giant foodie town. There's 20 some odd restaurants in each hotel. Yeah. Get out of your room.
Exactly.
No,
go see the sights. Go see the sights.
We've all got friends in the service industry.
Yeah.
Well, Chris Felix is your friend in the service industry, but no, if you're foreign to the
if I'm
to
foreign
Las
and
Vegas,
brand new, no.
Yeah, and I'm not talking about just Las Vegas. I'm not going to get you room service anywhere in the world.
Yeah,
anywhere in the world. All right, so Sam, this is a show of truth, and you thought you were bringing me to the mat on the whole Lupita thing, but see, it's truth. The majority of our housekeeping services, Filipino, or Hispanic. And that's true. And I joke about them driving dualies. I have been stuck behind, I can't even tell you the number of nights, I'm stuck behind the dualies in the Venetian where you can't get out because Lupita and her buddies got it stuck in the parking garage. Why they don't build the garages large enough to get a truck through, I don't know.
Why the 5-foot workers like to have the dually trucks, I'm not sure.
But you guys have also brought up the fact that Star Trek of yore, was politically correct in some fashion. But it doesn't matter what side of the aisle you stand on. I have recently seen some outlandish examples of people on both sides of the aisle speaking out of the sides of their mouth. Is this a political show? No, but sometimes the gear grinders need to be political. Now, what do you guys think about the social justice warriors? John, you're last because I know what you think. What do you think? Now, do you understand that the social justice warriors they're not going to call themselves leftists or far left, but they are way left. I mean, they're down the street, turn left, and then keep going. And they believe in oh, good Lord. Everything under the sun that has become a whatever makes you shake or tremble or makes you different, they are victims. And there's a million other speakers on the other side that they call them white nationalists, which I think is now a term that's been bastardized to respond to anybody that isn't politically correct. That's not true either.
Or it's
you
just
know,
far right.
or white supremacists.
Yeah.
It's like, well, okay, Sam, you're a white supremacist because of this. It's like, well, no, he's not. He's not white. He's not a supremacist, and he's just stating a fact.
He's not even racist.
Exactly.
He's just literally saying.
Exactly.
Except when it comes to movies. I'm racist when it comes
Yeah.
to movies.
I'm not
I'm
racist,
very
just a
negative.
jerk. That's all.
Yeah, and it's happening in Las Vegas. And the reason I bring this up is because I didn't involve myself in the conversation again, but I was at Home Depot. And you don't think that fascism is going to be discussed at Home Depot?
Oh, wait, at Home Depot?
Home Depot, yes, at Home Depot.
I'm surprised you weren't at Tropical Smoothies.
No.
No,
Home
that's
Depot.
his other home away from
I'm
home.
big at Home Depot.
Yeah,
I'm big
yeah.
at Home Depot. I'm not even talking about the guys, the temporary line workers that are out there trying to get jobs. They weren't talking about that. It was these two kids, 20-something, talking about the fascist state that we live in.
As you're walking down Home Depot trying to get some tools,
I'm behind.
were they
them.
workers?
No,
No, they
gosh,
were at the
no.
counter?
No, entitled screw purchasers.
Yeah,
I don't know what they were
screw
doing. but-
purchasers.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And they were talking about fascism.
Yeah.
And they had no idea what fascism was.
That was my follow-up
Well, you
question.
get all your news off of Yahoo or Facebook. You know,
Exactly.
you might be a little
Exactly.
one-sided.
So you guys are young. You're young men. You're in your 30s. You're right there in the hot spot, the sweet spot of the social justice warriors.
The messiness?
Yes, and fascism, by the way, is I'll loosely describe it as it is a group that feels they can curtail and control the political environment at the point of a gun. Trump is not a fascist. The United States is not a fascist state. Las Vegas, Nevada is not a fascist city. Fascism is a very specific thing. Why am I forgetting the Italian leader? Mussolini.
He was a fascist. He
was a huge
he
fascist.
started it.
Yes.
But one of the features of fascism is authoritarianism, and Donald Trump definitely is that.
He is.
Now, one thing, of course, our Constitution pretty much. It's set up so to avoid or to prevent somebody from taking over. He found that out.
The check
when
and
he,
balances.
when he
yes.
the check and balances, because he comes in with his executive orders like the moronic travel ban, and his attorney general says, well, this isn't going to pass because it's not legal.
Exactly.
So his thing is, well, then you're fired. But he didn't understand this is not a company, it's a country.
Yes.
So it has to be run differently. So yes, that does feel that does
Right.
limit, but it is that's where
piece of it.
it's a piece of it. Yes.
Now,
Yeah,
I
but it's not
asked Sam
fascist.
and Adam. John and I are closer in generation. But I ask you guys, do you have friends, and there's nothing wrong with them, but do you have friends that support the social justice movement? Or do you feel that in the backside of the millennials where you guys kind of exist, do you feel that there is a more intelligent discussion happening with your age group and your group?
I don't know that there's intelligent conversations going on at all these days.
No.
Well, most of our conversations are about movies and sports.
Yeah,
in our
to
group
be
chats.
honest, I think that
Okay.
we try and stay, off of that subject on purpose. It's a little mind-boggling for us.
And as for social justice friends, like I have yet to run across a friend that promoted that they're part of social justice.
Okay.
They would just make comments about situations like in general, but
like everybody
there-
thinks
there's
they're
no
part of it, but they never
firm-
actually do anything toward
Exactly.
that purpose. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
more our generation. We just
Okay.
kind of talk a lot about it and never actually do anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because go ahead, Sam. I'm sorry.
well, for me, like just the idea of I understand the goal of social justice, but like it's like every little thing is like, dude, some things just have to play out. You know what I mean? Like for you to call attention to every single thing, then like when something severe does occur, it kind of loses its edge. You know what I mean?
Sure.
To make it important.
Well, now the thing about social justice warriors is that they are creating scenarios that they want to become concrete. One of which, and I have no viewpoint on this, I really don't, except I do agree with the biology of it. One of the things, there's a speaker out there, his name's Ben Shapiro, and he's Jewish, and they call him a white supremacist, which just kills me. He's like, no, he's wearing a yarmulke and he's Jewish. He's not that. But he
that doesn't make sense.
Exactly, and that's the problem with social justice. Now, one of the social justice issues is the whole Caitlyn Jenner transgender issue, and Mr. Shapiro, of course, talks about the fact that biologically, there is no difference. He's still a man, Bruce is still there. He just is calling himself that. And that we now have to call him that. And we now have to accept that he believes he is supposed to be and is a woman. Now, that's the kind of issue I'm talking about. I don't have a viewpoint on that, except biologically, I believe Mr. Shapiro is right. He is still a man. Everything about him is a man, and there is no changing that. Even if he has the transgender surgery, the body still is identifying itself biologically and chemically as a man. But either way, do you have any discussions in your group about that? I mean, is there any where they're asking you to accept something that is just clearly against the grain because they feel that they're becoming victimized for one reason or another? And because they're victims, they need to be recognized as a community.
That's a tough question. No, I don't really know how to respond to that. I don't really have friends that are that invested in social justice or
really
injustice.
You know how to tell them? It's the person that talks about Nietzsche.
Okay.
Okay.
When
And
they're
I have
getting
that
into
in my
philosophy,
notes.
right?
Yes. And Friedrich Nietzsche, one of the things that they don't really talk about, he was a published and a prolific poet. And that's really all he was. Now, John, I'm sure, has read.
Yeah,
Nietzsche.
in fact, a lot of Nietzsche is out of context because after he died, his sister now was an anti-Semite. In fact, she ran a colony in Paraguay, I think. And when he was sick, because Nietzsche had syphilis, and he was going crazy, that she came over to take care of him. And she's the one who basically then revised a lot of what he had written, because he was not well known in his day.
No, he wasn't.
And he wasn't. So she was the one, and that's how it got wrapped up with Hitler and with his movements. And again, it was just a miss.
She took it out of context.
She took it out of context, and she revised some of it. A lot of it came through her because he was already dead.
Yeah, and see that's the people come out of college or go into college and they pick up the book, and there he is. And one of his quotes, I'm going to butcher this, but and those who were seen dancing were deemed insane by those who could not hear the music. Oh boy, that means a whole lot to somebody. And you're gonna figure out that means something to you, and then that usually spawns them being part of the social justice movement.
From a artistic standpoint, right? If that was his poetry, right? I think poetry is open to interpretation. Because everyone has their point of view.
Absolutely.
So when it comes to say something of that proportion of poetry, right, that you just stated, I'm sure there'll be multiple different point of views, but people shouldn't be like, well, mine's the right one or yours is the wrong one. It's like, that's my point of view, that's your point of view. That's it. You know what I mean?
The ones that get me though, James, are the privileged white people that like to present themselves as victims, in the sense of like the Merry Christmas. Is there? I usually say Happy Holidays. Why is that? Well, I'm not a Christian. Yeah. I'm not an anything. I'm an atheist.
Right.
But I have friends who are Catholic, and I have friends who are Jewish, and I have friends who are like me. So. But one thing is clear, we all have a holiday season. It starts with Thanksgiving and ends with New Year. Right. So I can kind of capture everybody. I don't know about Sam. He's Asian. I think, well, I don't know, he's Christian, but he gets
pagan,
Christmas off.
Pagan,
that's great. A Druid.
Satanist.
Satanist.
Please get it right.
All right.
Thank you.
Happy Holidays covers everybody.
Merry Christmas, Hana Kwanzaa.
Yeah.
That's
so
right.
why would somebody who is all of a sudden be offended because I didn't say Merry Christmas?
Just hearing you talking about this reminds me of that Starbucks cup situation. Remember?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
I don't get what happened. Like, why did people get so uptight about that?
There you go.
It's just a cup. It's a stinking cup.
Yeah,
it's just another thing for people to have an argument about.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's
there
what
you
we're.
go.
That's what we're talking about.
And
talking about.
You mentioned about Caitlyn Jenner, and I was talking with some colleagues last week because I said, I'm confused. I'm very curious about this linguistically, because the language has to evolve along with the society.
Yes.
Right. So right now we don't have we don't have pronouns. That's always been one of the flaws in English, is we don't have a singular pronoun that covers both men and women. Right. So I have to talk about, if I'm writing something, I talk about student. I have to talk about, and then I refer back to that student using a pronoun. I usually have to say he or she, which is awkward. So it's better to say students, plural, than I can say they, right?
Yes.
Because that's. But I thought, what about
it sounds safer, I guess. Makes it more PC.
because again, if I say she, and then it's well, what about the boys? If I say he, then what about the girls?
Yeah.
So it's he or she, students. But you get to like with Caitlyn Jenner, or well, I said, well, what happened to Bruce? There was a Bruce Jenner, born whenever 1940 something, and won these Olympic medals. Now, if there's a biography of
Bruce
Jenner,
Jenner.
I'll just call it Jenner because both of them.
Sure.
Do I refer to Bruce Jenner in the past tense? When Jenner dies, what will be on Jenner's tombstone? Is it going to say Bruce Jenner, 1948 to
I totally get where
2005?
you're coming from because these are real technical questions.
Yeah, these are technical
Like, we're not trying to be a
questions.
smart ass about it or be
Yeah.
funny. It's just that these are technical questions when it comes to conversations. Like, if you were to say meet him and talk to her, like even now, like, you want to talk about your past career, do I reference as?
Yeah,
male
I'm
or
just curious.
female?
I mean, so yeah, I'm not trying to be really that. I mean, me, I'm sarcastic, but being flippant. But then when Jenner dies, someday you look at it and say, wow, it says here Caitlyn Jenner, born 2015, died 20. Wow, that's the toughest looking 12-year-old I ever saw.
Right.
Yeah,
Or
the thing,
this is a lot of writing on a tombstone, right?
Yeah.
To like,
You
For
know,
one human being.
Now, my opinion is that on that particular sense, is that a person has the right to be called whatever they want.
Yep.
They have the right to write their own epitaph. So whatever they want on the stone, that's fine. You're dead. I don't care. What I don't agree with is that Bruce Jenner, the Olympian, was an American hero. Caitlyn Jenner is not an American hero because of that decision. That is his or her decision that he made. Just like choosing your breakfast cereal in the morning. That is not a cause to make them a cause, make them a community, or make them American heroes. They made a decision. It was a difficult decision.
Not the first person to do it.
I think that you can't say it took a lot of balls to be.
well played.
It took a lot of balls to do what Jenner did,
Right.
in the sense that I'm opening myself to a great deal of ridicule. I could have lived under the table, this way, and not have raised this up and put myself out there,
Right.
as being that. So I look at it and say, wow, that did take a lot of guts.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I was coming back from a trip I took last week to Minnesota, and I was on that tram at the airport, and there was a transgender guy. Woman, that was it, standing there. And I looked, I said, if this person were to drop something and walk off the train, how would I get their attention? Do I say, excuse me, miss, even though I know you're,
Not
again, even though I don't know that they're transgender, if they're just a transvestite. Do I say, hey, dude, I'm just curious. I just wondered. Now, that person didn't drop anything, and they could, whatever makes them feel happy, hey, I'm all for it. I
Well,
just need to know your ground rules of how do you want me to refer to you?
What shouldn't happen is that they shouldn't chastise you for making the choice of any side, and they are not victims for whichever choice you make.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing.
Yeah.
That's the
That has
thing.
to be like a sweet spot. We have to meet each other halfway.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
the
exactly.
other one, think about the Wachowskis, the ones,
Yes.
the brothers, right?
Yeah.
Well, they
Oh,
were
the
brothers.
Wachowskis, yeah,
they
yeah, from
both
Matrix.
came out as transgender. So now,
Oh, they both did?
Yes,
Yeah.
they both did. First
Not the
one
Wachowski
did.
brothers anymore.
Yeah, they're now the Wachowski sisters. But now from movies, again, referring back to The Matrix. That was directed by the Wachowski brothers. No, they
Not
were
anymore,
brothers then.
right? Yeah.
They were then, but now
They were
they're the
then.
sisters.
Wow.
I mean, if you didn't know better, you might think, well, wow, that family's got a lot
That's
of
actually a
movies.
really good riddle. How do we refer? Because like, I don't want to.
They're going to tell us after this one.
So again, it's
Okay,
just
Well, then
I'm
we'll
just going
know.
to call them the Wachowskis
Yeah.
because I get around
Yeah.
the issue.
My point
Hey,
is,
you.
hey you, that's
Hey,
it.
you over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, drop this.
Yeah, we'll just be a nation of demonstrative pronouns, But the reason I brought this up is because my whole point is that the conversation needs to be an intelligent one, an intellectual one.
yes.
Fascism and Nietzsche and the whole movement of social justice needs to be spoken of correctly. Fascism and Nietzsche are not swords to swing in the conversation.
Yeah.
In fact, they're not really relevant to most everything.
All I ask is give me my Christmas Starbucks cup so people can yell
That's
at me.
right. And make Sam's with a Christmas moose. Something like that.
Actually, that was weird because there's one year at the theater we got a memo about saying Happy Holidays instead of Merry Christmas, and I was like, what? Why can't I just say Merry Christmas?
It's coming down from the top.
I'm like, what's wrong with that?
There's no insult meant. It's how you were raised.
It's like, yeah. Like when I say Merry Christmas, I mean like in the most positive way. I'm not saying it just to offend your culture. It's like it's Christmas season. We're in the middle of freaking December. It's freezing in the box office. I'm gonna say freaking Merry Christmas. All right, enjoy it. But no, we had to say Happy Holidays because the Secret Shoppers. Yeah, they showed up and we said Merry Christmas.
Oh, busted.
Yeah, big
but
time.
I think if you find out if you ask people, like I said, like with me, I don't, I'm just repulsed by the holiday myself. Just not because it has anything to do with Christianity. It's because it has everything to do with consumerism and capitalism.
Oh, that's because of the BB gun from Christmas Story. You shoot your eye out.
Oh no, no.
That's where it all began.
So I just find that to me that it's just too much. But I don't care if people say Merry Christmas. That's fine. I mean, I don't say so. But what I find, it's usually the people who say Merry Christmas are the ones who are offended by the other way around. It's not the other way around. It's not well, I don't want to offend this person because they're not Christian or they're Jewish. So I'm going to say, Happy Holidays. No, they're not the ones being offended. Because they're used to it. They're used to saying that, and I find that even with the assessments that we make, when we have to be very careful on bias and sensitivity, it's usually not for the people that are on the left side of the aisle. We have to be really correct for the people on the right side of it.
Absolutely.
And they're the ones that tend to be offended when we don't conform to. Happy Holidays covers Merry Christmas. Yeah. Great. If you want to say it to me, fine. I'll say it back to you because I don't know. I mean, I don't know if you're Christian or not, so I'll just take the easy way out.
We should just make a social justice movement against pumpkin spice. There you go. We'll just piss off everybody.
I totally agree.
Jay, you were talking about, and this is where you get down to it. You're talking about. And you said this a couple of broadcasts ago about the statues and about Robert E. Lee. And it's like, well, but Robert E. Lee, like McDonald's, become emblematic. So people have an emotional, not an intellectual reaction to that. Right. So, McDonald's is always going to be the face of junk food, fast food, and basically, shit being passed off. They could completely change their menu. They could have, quinoa, black bean burgers, and they could have, salads. Right. And you could go ahead and say, look, I did a comparison that their food is better than Burger King or Wendy's. It doesn't matter. They are the face of that.
It's already locked in.
It's locked in.
It's
locked in. And it's the same when, when the Tea Party people were protesting Obama and they put the little Hitler mustaches on them. That's just asinine. It's
nonsense, yeah.
But again, it's emblematic. So what I find interesting is how, for me, the right wing they hijack patriotism. And when they protest, for example, Obama, and regardless of what you thought of him, either way, there's no doubt about it that he won his elections fairly and squarely. He trounced both of his Republican opponents. He won the popular vote. He won the electoral vote. We can't say that about Donald Trump. Right, Trump. He won the electoral vote, no question, but he lost the popular vote. That's just the way it is.
As did Bush in the second one,
and so did Bush. We have not had a Republican elected this century who won fair and square. But when as soon as Obama won, we had the Tea Party people dressed up some of these assholes like Benjamin Franklin because they're patriots, because they protest the government. Great. But then when the shoe's on the other foot, they're the ones saying, you don't like it here, love it or leave it.
These are the rules we have.
Yes. He's president for all of us, so shut up and sit down. So again, we see this playing off of who's victim. And the thing is, you all have a right to it.
Yeah, take a positive step forward. Build something good. Don't tear things down. That's all I'm saying.
And I say the same thing when somebody like that social media douchebag, what's his name, Milo.
Oh yes, Milo.
Well, he was gonna.
He and Ben Shapiro
he's the white supremacist guy.
Yeah, he was going to talk. He was going to talk at Berkeley, and which where I went to school.
Yes.
And they shouted him down or something. I said, no, they should have let the guy talk.
Absolutely,
because that's his right. In Japan,
let him prove how dumb he is.
They have nationalists in Japan drive around. They're kind of funny because they drive around in a big black truck, holding out the old Japanese flag. They're really the Nippon flag from World War II, and they wear uniforms and they park the truck and they get out with the bullhorn, talking about we got to get rid of all these foreigners. And I used to listen and say, and nobody pays them any mind. They just do their business. They all realize that those guys are a bit crazy, but they're allowed to express themselves. So do it. And if nobody shows up, there you go. But this was we have a long history of of tolerating cranks.
Yes,
You know,
Yeah.
and so
that's true.
Still, nothing's changed. I mean, we just got one in the White House. That's all.
Hopefully change will come. But well, thanks, guys. Yeah, we'll get off the serious stuff.
On to the fun stuff.
Area
Let's get over
52
some-
lightning round. Don't look at your notes. Don't cheat. How tall is the stratosphere?
Very tall.
157 feet.
No,
119.
I don't know.
John.
it's
How
like
tall-
it's like
Stratosphere Tower.
it's
gotta
the
be
tallest building I think west
of the Mississippi.
West of the Mississippi. It's something like 1,100.
Ooh, very good. 1,149 feet.
Oh. Now, something that people might
Yes.
want to know is that, of course, that's the tower, right? That's not the room. So people
Correct.
coming here, they're not going to say, I want a room on the top floor.
Yes.
No.
Yeah,
That's
that's not
the
what the room
tower.
is.
They have rooms are much
There's-
smaller.
The only thing up there is dining and roller coaster.
That's
rides.
right.
That's right.
Roller coasters,
That's right.
Yes, which are actually kind of fun, but kind of lame.
Have you rode those up
I
there?
have ridden them all.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
How's the one that goes out and spins? Is that any
The
good?
entire thing is concerning. It's very concerning because the
I
stratosphere.
really hate heights, so I'll never
The
be there.
stratosphere is not the best maintained hotel, so the rides it's a little bit like going to a amusement park in the Philippines. You just don't
You're
know.
just taking your life in your hands. That's all.
Yeah, you just don't know. Okay, second question, lightning round. What does Pai-Gow mean?
Make 9.
Oh, yeah, I think you cheated. It means makes 9. Did you know
Which
that? John?
which
No, I didn't know
is
that.
that from the domino version?
That is from the card version.
That's from the card version.
All right, yeah, dominoes. No one knows.
Well,
Did-
no.
did you
Just
deal
Pai-Gow
Pai-Gow?
means make
I
9.
did the card version.
Okay.
Not the
And-
domino.
And dominoes as well.
Yeah, just in general, make 9.
Okay, because no one knows about. There's 3 guys that play dominoes, and they know the rules. And nobody knows
And see what's funny in the card Pai-Gow, there's nowhere that you're trying to actually make 9. Like,
Yeah, it's very
like
strange.
you would baccarat.
You're
Like
just
trying
trying to beat the
number or
dealer.
something. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not even.
Who
part of the
mostly plays Pai-Gow?
Well, Pai-Gow is great because you can jump into a table with $20 and literally last forever because it's a lot of pushing. You have to play 2 hands, and
Yeah.
if you don't beat the dealer on both hands,
Yeah.
or lose to both hands,
and you
push.
can't really screw up the table on the hooks. You know,
Yeah,
you can.
you're playing
jump
an
in and-
individual
yeah.
hand, so
Go ahead, say.
I was going to say, because with the card, you use 7 cards, but with the dominoes, it's just 4.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Adam's absolutely right. For those of you coming in and you've checked, you've
Yeah,
actually
play
checked
some
in,
Pai-Gow.
and
You
your
can-
room is clean.
if
go
that's
play
what you
some
want to
Pai-Gow.
play, if you want to kill some time,
That's right.
play some Pai-Gow.
$20, you can stay a
Yeah,
week.
and that's it. You know, the commercials on TV always show somebody winning. Oh, Jesus! I just hit a fucking jackpot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
It doesn't happen, right?
No.
Right.
Right.
So take your money and say, I'm gonna. Here's $50. I'm gonna lose this.
Yes, yeah,
You're
yeah.
gonna lose it. What you want to see is how long can I milk it out?
That's right.
That's
So
right.
it's,
So
all, it's all
Pai-Gow
about
is
your
a-
time per hour.
That's
Just,
right.
just approach it with an allowance.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you said, just mark yourself at 50. You know you're going to lose it. So
You know,
just
if you,
have
if you
fun.
think about it this
That's
way,
right.
minimum wage is $8.50 an hour or something like that. If
Yeah.
that's what you're losing an hour, if you can
Yeah.
justify that,
Yeah.
then,
Now
then
somebody
very
did
good.
win the other day. Did you see that at the Fiesta? $10
At the
million
Fiesta, $10 million.
on a 25-cent slot machine.
Wow.
Yes.
Now-
How much was he in?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I
probably
don't
not a
know.
lot.
Yeah, but
A roll of quarters, probably.
Yeah.
yeah, but anyhow, you know, it made the news. That's why
Yes.
10
it
million.
doesn't happen.
10
Yeah,
million.
yeah. So you might
10
win,
million.
but
Must be
chances
nice.
are
All right.
don't expect to win any money.
Rounding out the lightning round, Las Vegas resides at the corners of which 3 deserts?
Mojave.
Yes.
Sedona?
No.
No,
No?
that's Arizona. Shit.
Oh, that's not a desert. Shit's not.
No.
Go ahead.
That's
I don't
Summerlin. That's all right.
You're in Mojave.
Mojave.
Great Basin?
Yes.
He's
He's cheating.
No.
No. Last one.
Damn it.
Don't look at me, dude.
Last
Come
one.
on, Sam. Help me out here.
I'm the movie guy.
Great Basin, Mojave, and it starts with an S. John was close, but not Sedona. It's actually
Nope, I don't got it.
No. Sam.
I'll play the tip guy. Sahara?
Incorrect.
Hotel.
Incorrect.
Yeah.
Sonoran
Oh,
Desert.
Sonoran. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, yep.
All right.
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Not
That's
bad. We'll have we'll stick in a lightning round every once in a while for you guys. Las Vegas chips. We get a lot of questions about chips. And they used to be called casino tokens. That's actually one of the first phrases they used. They are also known as gaming chips, checks, as in like you're writing a check. They are also the Monte Carlo version of a check, or the French version, CHEQUE. And the definition makes me laugh. Small discs used in lieu of currency. Yes,
Yeah.
of course they are.
There you go.
Are they actually clay? Yes, and indeed
Yes,
they
indeed.
are.
Yes,
Sometimes it depends on the
Yeah,
house.
a couple of different makes for them.
They can be colored metal. They are also now, generally speaking, they're either injection molded plastic or compression molded clay.
Yes.
What is the weight? Everybody says 11.5, and I'm going to get a lot of people questioning on there. They're actually not. 11.5 is incorrect. That is not the. It is 8.5. Between 8.5 and 10 is the accepted weight of a chip for Las Vegas.
Okay.
Do they have chips in them, meaning RFID? We talked about RFID later in the earlier in the pre-show.
Yeah.
Some of which are.
Some do.
Some of
Absolutely.
which are.
The higher denomination ones.
Yes. Casinos decided to do one of two things. One, to brand their own chips, in which case counterfeiting is very difficult because you don't have the right
Each
graphics.
casino's got its own chip. Yep.
Or, like Adam said, RFID chips were placed in them for... I believe they started at blacks, which are
They
hundreds.
might go black.
Yeah.
It would surprise me if they did.
Yeah.
Just because they're probably more widely used.
Yeah, that's true.
But
That's
yeah,
true.
anything higher than 100 for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So,
in the old days, you used to use it as currency here. Basically,
Sure.
Las Vegas.
Yeah.
it
You could use
had
that
its
as a
own-
tip.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you could go to the supermarket.
Yeah.
Well,
sure.
$20 here. Here's a chip, and they
That's
would
right.
take it.
That's right.
Yeah, they don't do that anymore.
And we talked about foreign. I can't remember which episode it was. We talked about foreign checks.
Foreign checks.
There was a time when they wouldn't take them. I think
Some do. Yeah.
I
Some
think Sam
do now.
corrected me now.
Travel
that-
checks
yeah,
are
yeah,
taken some
yeah.
places.
Well, that brings up something here. The last number 4 in the lightning round. What did craps dealers call it when a chip started rolling down the table?
Traveler's checks.
Traveler's check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's
They call
rolling,
it
baby.
traveler's
Nice. I
check.
like that.
Speaking of rolling chips, do you remember the story that happened to our colleague Danny? She was coming back from lunch,
Yes.
and as you remember, as you came through the casino, there's a bank of slot machines on the right side. On the left side was the food court.
Okay.
And she's walking there, and right in front of her rolls a chip. And it kind of, just like a quarter would, it spins and it stops, and she looks over, and there's just
Nobody's
around.
watching.
I mean, it's not a table.
Yeah.
There's no tables there. There's that, and there doesn't seem to be anybody. So, but of course, we know that there's just a million eyes on her.
Yes.
And it's a high denomination chip, it's $1,000.
Yes.
Nice.
So she picks it up and she said, "Oh, well, I can't keep it.
Yeah, what do I do with this?
What do I do with it?" She takes it to Lost and Found.
Yeah,
Yes.
security.
And turns it in. And they said, "Okay, fine, thanks." And she said, "Yes, after 30 days, nobody claims it. It's yours." So we were saying, "Hey, that's great." But somebody's
you're
going
never gonna.
She goes
think
back the
twice
next
about that,
day and
yeah.
asks, "Nope, nobody claimed it yet." So she sweats it out for a week.
Okay, well,
30 days later, nobody claimed it.
$3,000,
She got
huh?
it's $1,000.
Yep.
Sweet.
Yeah, the official
Nice.
Venetian procedure was you brought that. Actually, any tip over $100 you were supposed to bring to your supervisor.
Really?
And they're
Sure.
Yeah.
GFY.
Good for you. Yeah.
No, go fuck yourself.
Oh, go fuck
Yes.
yourself.
I'm going to invest
You're
this
being
for
very
you.
nice.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah, you're a social justice warrior. Aren't you? All right. Well, thanks everybody for listening. And actually, thank you so much. All the comments and writings that we get online are great. Good, bad, and ugly. If you don't like Sam,
I definitely enjoy my comments.
that's right. If
It caught me off guard. I thought that was a good
I know,
guy.
I know. He's just
Little
a
do
big-
you know, man.
He's the big teddy bear, but we like them all. We try to be truthful and give you all the correct information. And if you ever catch us, please fact check us. I got fact checked one time. I can't remember which one it was, but I got fact checked.
On the flag.
On the flag, yes. But we love everybody talking to us worldwide, and we think it's fantastic. Check with WordPress, thepodbaydoor.com. Just connect to WordPress or thepodbaydoor.wordpress.com, and you can click on all the links of everything that we talked about and referenced, and you can also say hello to us there. Big announcement, our next episode, our next full episode, number 33, will be available on October 24th. A little bit of a hiatus and vacation period for the Pod Bay Door crew. Adam is going to do some interviews in the field, and we'll stick those in somewhere, not quite sure where. But the next full episode, October 24th, that is a Tuesday. And if you have any questions or concerns, just let me know. And we'll update everything on the website. But thank you very much. You guys have been great. We will see you in a couple of weeks. Adam, thank you. John, great to see you again. Sam,
Good to see you, sir.
outstanding to see you.
Always fun.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you.
Bye, guys.
Thanks to everyone listening and watching. You can catch the Pod Bay Door on the Podbean app or any of your favorite podcast apps, including iTunes, Google Play, TuneIn, and Stitcher Radio. You can watch the show on our YouTube channel at the Pod Bay Door Podcast. Please download, like, and subscribe. Our social connectivity screen is coming up. Check in with us on Facebook, Twitter, and WordPress. The Pod Bay Door is closed and talent is out. Hey everybody, thank you very much for tuning into the show. We would love to hear your show suggestions and comments. If you are watching on our YouTube channel, please click to subscribe. You can also connect with us on Facebook using @PBD Podcast, on Twitter using @TPBD Podcast, and on WordPress at thepodbaydoor.wordpress.com.